Forgotten God, the 5th edition D&D campaign. I'm Saffron Rothschild. You know, even though the most recent adventures only transpired yesterday, I can scarcely wrap my mind around them. I know we were at the Crystallarium, and we went downstairs and fought slimes and wrecked the basement, and then went to a splendid store where we got some magnificent, wondrous stuff. But putting all of the details together is, well, somewhat nettlesome. In the combat, Rain nearly died because of a very sticky envelopment with a particularly loathsome slime, and I frankly can't remember who rescued her, whether it was Love or Twig, and I remember pulling the stops out to rescue someone myself as well. It was Paw Farley. He was going to get et by a wave of orange acid, as he put it. That splendid store, I recall, was directly upstairs, and the fellow who owned the Crystallarium, and the basement of stuff we wrecked, which we did not tell him. Did we simply spend the money he paid us to exterminate the slimes in that wondrous shop upstairs? You know, I think not. Gold has a funny way of not changing hands when Paw Farley is around. Well, all the better for us, I suppose. And here we are, on a new day, ready to begin again. I shall be quite interested indeed to see what this day brings.
Ahoy, ahoy!
Okay, I can't hear Gene at all.
Yeah, me either.
Uh-oh.
All right, so.
Here we are. Here we go.
So. Right as the baby decides to talk. Excellent. Welcome one and all to the exciting 7th chapter of the Forgotten God campaign. We are here quite unexpectedly. I thought that we wouldn't run for a while due to some reasons and things. Yet, here we are. Everyone's assembled and we're ready to go. Our viewership just dropped by 1 person, which means that people hate us already. We lost one out of our 3 fans. Outstanding.
Hey,
Yes, we're doing our job. And so, I would like to welcome you all to our wonderful game. You have not heard the recap, so I will try to remind you that as we left our game last time, you have fled from the catacombs beneath Dryfoot City in hope to regroup and to do stuff for Rain because she's got things going on in her life. I will remind you that Twig, Captain Malav, and Francis Paw Farley still inexplicably have their inspiration points. And let's hope that this goes smoothly, as I am vastly unprepared for this particular game. Again, we're doing this live, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, I would like to open the table with, I don't know, Captain Malav, let's hear from you first. Now that you guys... You can decide whether you have already made it back to wherever it is you're going or you're on your way. Either way, please tell me and tell me what transpires next.
Personally, I'm going to duck down random streets and alleys on the understanding that if I don't know where I'm at, they can't possibly find me.
That seems logical.
I thought so.
Oh, my love.
Everybody is going together. You're heading back to where?
No, I need to get back to the
Champions
Fancy
Lodge.
Pants Inn and pretend to be Rain.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes, that's right. You're
I
going
believe
to...
it. I believe it's called the Fancy Pants Inn, right?
No, it's the Champions Lodge.
I was close.
Well, horseshoe and hand grenade, but who is counting, pointing, and laughing, right? So you are going back to the Champions Lodge, and here is my Champions Lodge, so
Now,
that I can
my
see what's happening.
understanding of the course of event that is about to transpire, and of course, anybody hop in and change this if you wish to. I am covering Rain's shift.
Yes.
Rain, Twig, Malove, and the Baroness are going to go to an underground fight club and mess stuff up.
And I'm going to go to my rendezvous.
Oh, that's right. You have a rendezvous on the way to the fight club. That's right. I forgot about that.
So, just to get things straight, we're beginning our expertly planned adventure by splitting the party.
The party.
That's the best way to start anything, Chief.
Because we never learn.
All right. Thank you, Little Mermaid. Now let us
The
proceed.
seaweed is always greener in somebody else's lake.
Thanks,
Yes.
dear.
Indeed. So, first thing first, Mr. Farley, how is it that you're transforming yourself to the unsurpassed beauty and the person of note and magnificence, such as Rain Seaspray, also known as whatever her actual royal name is? Even I don't remember.
There's a handy-dandy
I
spell
do.
called Disguise Self, which I happen to have.
Mm-hmm.
It lets you, for an hour, disguise yourself as any creature of the same size as you, and I am the shortest you can be and still be medium-sized.
Indeed. You are medium rare. Congratulations.
So I am technically a medium-sized critter, just like Rain, and I'm going to sashay into the Champions Lodge. I have to practice my French accent. I mean, I get advantage on this check if I'm pretending to be somebody else. I don't really need it.
Oh, you do?
I think that'll do
Well,
it.
then roll it again.
See if we can get a
Let's
crit.
roll it again just to see if
Go
it's
for it.
better.
Natural 20.
All right, and as you strut into the middle of Champions Lodge and look both, eager to serve and I don't know how does Rain like to look?
Classy, but available.
Yes, firm but fair. Wait, that's management styles. Donson Belsby almost immediately materializes like right somewhere to the left and behind you. And, he never touches. That's not his thing. But he would get so close, you could literally hear him whisper in your ear. He kind of leans forward. And right when you don't expect it, you feel his hot breath on your ear. And he goes, "Hello! I assume that you are ready to perform your duties tonight, my dear."
It would be my pleasure, but I have need of just a moment with you upstairs in your office, s'il vous plaît.
He goes, "My dear, my office was never upstairs.
Well, we're
As a
at
matter of
the-
fact," and he points to the left, "my office is behind the bar, and quite off limits for the personnel."
But we have a contract that we have signed together. I have a simple question to review with you. This is persuasion?
Oh, of course it is. Are you kidding me?
Well, I didn't notice any goddamn thing. But let me try and persuade the
Perception.
guy.
Yes, indeed.
Because
Indeed.
you're right.
Indeed. He goes, "Your contract, my dear, is in order and perfectly fine. If there's anything you'd like to discuss with me, perhaps we will do it later tonight. We got some important guests coming. I would like the place to be..."
I am 100% trying to persuade Fancy Pants McGillicuddy here that he needs to go sit with me in the office alone. Where's my freaking skill sheet?
Don't
What?
turn me into a slut.
Here we go.
Well, you're 50% proficient in it.
Persuasion.
Ah, very nice.
Okay.
A little,
I'm doing-
a little better. Technically, I mean, look, it's the thing. You can take 10, probably not more than 10, because you need to be doing things and you're not doing them right now. He kind of goes, "Well, all right, just this time, but make it quick."
I should be ever so fast, monsieur.
So he comes up to the door, and as you're trying to approach the door, he extends his hand and he's like, gives you the sign of like, back that ass up,
Sacre bleu.
Yes, you stand back. He doesn't quite say it, but it's it's in his face. He turns around and he covers the little thing that he covers. You don't even know what it is, and he goes boop, 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 boop. It goes ding dong, psst, and the door goes. The wall opens up. There's a door. He opens the door. He ushers you inside. Then the things close. There's another one of those ding dong, and now you are inside of his office. His office is very small. It's musty and is incensed to smell better than it is. There's books on left and right, big plush chair, big desk, not much space for anything else. Big bear rug, kind of lopsided in the floor there.
I have to say, I love a man who's good with a look.
He goes, quite. Yes, my dear. So, as I was saying, you have memorized all of the greetings for the important dignitaries that were coming tonight, yes?
What?
He goes, surely.
Oui.
This
But
is...
of course, monsieur, I know all of these greetings.
He goes,
Bonjour, bonsoir, bon.
He kind of like does this whole like quiet down. Okay, well, that is terrific. And as such, what is it that you wanted to talk to me tonight?
I am sorry, I am but a woman, so I have just fallen out of my silly head. But could you please show me on the contract exactly what the terms are for how I repay you?
He goes, my dear, this is neither the time nor the place for negotiations. I would like to remind you that you owe me precisely 2,000 gold pieces, from which you have probably worked out, and he does like a little calculation in his hand, his hands kind of like do this thing where he counts. He goes, approximately 150 gold have been covered thus far.
It should be 2. It should be 2 gold, but whatever, it's fine. I'm attempting to use my feminine wiles to persuade him that it is a tragedy, but it all happened so fast in a blur, and I cannot recall. Could I please, por favor, please, pour moi, monsieur, may I see the contract just for a moment?
He goes, very well, if you will avert your eyes, please. Okay. He sort of turns his
Let me try
back.
a perception check to see whatever the heck he does.
All right. I will allow it.
Nah.
He turns his back on you, and the best you could tell is that he kind of opens the breast of his velveteen coat, and he puts his hand in, and there's a little... He says something in very hush voice, like... And then there's a poof, and like he turns around and goes, "Et voila, as you say down underneath the sea, Viola, it is done. Here is your contract, my dear. Please look at it quickly." And he spreads it on the table. It's long.
Take a moment to review it. Not bad.
It's like the Amazon terms of service. It like falls off of the table and just goes on for some time.
That's all right.
Snaps his fingers, and a portion of the contract is now eliminated. Where he goes, that would be the part pertaining to your services, and also in the little box to the side, this is where I automatically tally, and you sure enough see that it's about 150 gold, somehow miraculously, and you're right, you should have only had maybe 5, but is 150 gold there somehow.
Dang. Apparently Rain's been working it. All right, so I rolled sleight of hand. I happen to have a rolled up weighty contract that was a spare bill of lading, which I pilfered from the dockmasters back on the 4 episodes ago. I'm going to attempt to slip him that instead of the contract back.
All right. So,
if there's no contract, there's no deal.
I like the way you think.
So, you basically are prepared to do this exchange, right?
Yes.
And
I came here to do. That's why I said, let me be you tonight.
Indeed. And so you kind of do what you do, and it blows my mind. I can't even fathom how you can take a long, unraveled contract and do the same with yours.
You roll it back up, and I roll it in a manner that would make it look like the thing that I know it's going to look like.
All right.
And then I would take the moment to be like, oh, you are right. How silly of me. It is most magnifique. Merci beaucoup, monsieur. Here, I return this to you.
Okay, he takes it. He takes it. He doesn't. He
Over the
doesn't.
city. Got it.
He doesn't even look. He goes, puts it in the back of his pocket, and you notice that as it retreats into his breast pocket, it smooths out. So there is no space there for a large object, right? He just his coat is impeccable, and he goes, "Okay, Mademoiselle, it is time for us to be done with this charade. The guests are waiting," and he comes up and ding ding. The door
But as he
opens,
attempts
right?
to get out of my way this time, to get me out of his way so he can get to the door, I don't move. I lean in close and I go, "Merci."
He like blushes 3 shades of purple and ushers you out. The moment that you step through the doorway, however, you hear and suddenly a bunch of ink, sort of like that stuff that happens to where the cops or the feds try to trap a somebody who is trying to steal something and they know it, right? It just goes everywhere.
Out of his shirt or out of mine?
Out of wherever it is that you conceal it. Now your magic
Okay,
makes
so
it
out of
look
me.
like
I
it is
see.
you're still you, and it doesn't like penetrate your disguise, but you are inking it like it's Finding Dory, right?
But it's
Everywhere.
invisible because of the magic disguise.
Except not when it leaves your periphery and just starts going everywhere.
Oh,
We
my
can-
stars. Sorry, I'm covered in milk.
Okay, by this point,
so-
Billsby is like 3 feet out of the door. So let me make sure that he doesn't notice. Let's just see here. All right.
Wait, I'm going to make a large distraction as this happens.
Right. Now, he doesn't notice. You managed to step outside, but the inside of his office looked like, suddenly he murdered 300 squid and just didn't clean up. Right? It
Not my
is.
problem.
You hope to God that he does not step back into your office, and you are trailing ink. That's another thing, right? So it keeps it's not magically flowing like from an enchanted endless decanter, but you're still dripping with it, right? And you feel that contract, that thing that you have on you, like it is soaking wet.
As long as it's destroyed, I don't care, man.
Well, you hope to God that it is, and now you're bleeding blue, as they say, and so the door, ding dong, opens. Luckily, the false wall covers up the door that is also like the
Blue. Right, yeah.
like something out of a murder mystery movie, right? And you step out. Meanwhile, we go back to Rain, Captain Milov, the Baroness, and Twig. Yes.
Mhm.
All right. You lovely people, what is it that you are doing now? As you are leaving, right as the last of you step outside, you hear a large sound, like somebody unleashed, a large whoopee cushion, and like wet, splotchy noise stuff. And bits and chunks just went everywhere. You can't really tell what it is. It just sounds unpleasant. It's like this, explosive diarrhea. And you leave, and something happened, and you hope to God it's not happened to, your plan. But of course it is. So you are stepping outside. Please describe to me where you're going and what you're doing.
I am going to the docks, where the rendezvous said to be.
All right. You are going to go to the docks. Let me summon the handy-dandy map here. Nope, wrong map. How about this map? Outstanding. So, yeah. This is very, very good. And so you are going back. You are walking by and you're going towards where? Brothers in Arms?
No, I'm trying to pull up the note. 1 second.
Would you
'Cause
like
it
me
gave
to...
me specific instructions
That
where
we
to
deciphered
go.
the code from, that note.
Yeah. It said such and such building, this green door.
Are we traveling
Yes.
as her bodyguards, or are we going to Brothers in Arms?
I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, Shadow? Well, I wasn't talking to you.
Well...
I'm
Thanks.
asking him, and then we'll relay that. Are we
Yeah,
going
indeed.
to Shadower, or are we going to go ahead and directly go to Brothers in Arms?
I can't remember what I got something about I got a spiffy item which I can't find
Your
in my
weapon.
inventory. I don't know where it is. It's not in my inventory. So I don't know what's happening, and somebody needs to give me an idea of what it is. The Fight Club thing
Yeah,
was
got
supposed to become a thing.
We were at,
Did
we were at
I?
the weapon. Yeah, we were at like the weapon shop, and we were all like looking at magical items, and the shopkeeper was like, "There's a secret club we don't talk about, but you're pretty tough looking, and I like the look of your muscles." And
Oh, that's right. All right.
yeah, and I think you were gonna go and like compete in like an arena thing to make some
Yeah.
money.
So there's but am I doing that immediately?
I'm not sure what the timing was on it.
Well,
but
I think we can go.
Well, I believe that my love was going to the same non-place, and it was tonight. I thought this was like the craziest night of our lives.
I believe that you are so far away, covered in ink, and have to serve surly gentlemen with drinks that you're not there. So,
Hey, this is us trying to catch up on being gone for like a month or so. So
Yeah. So I can't remember.
all right,
We're-
fair enough. I will.
we're-
I will allow this particular joy. Sure.
he's not giving us
Okay.
direction. He's just trying to catch us up on our plot.
Sounds good to me.
Unless Rain specifically wanted to go alone and didn't want to have any kind of protection, I think Twig would probably leave.
I could follow along and remain unseen.
She
I
was
like
full
that,
to come
would too,
But if
probably.
someone can just stand like outside by the door, that would be great.
If
All right,
I don't
I'll
have
travel.
to be, if I don't have to be at the arena immediately, I'd rather go and
Yeah, we
stand
should-
by Twig.
We
I
should
mean,
go as a group.
Rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, let's split the group four ways.
Yeah, let's everybody do separate things. Like,
Quick, somebody hand me a baby.
Oh my
So,
god.
by the way, as you are stepping outside, you hear a familiar voice behind you, Baroness, at this point.
Madam?
Yes.
You turn around, and sure enough, you see Bob Goblin, right? He turns around and goes,
Good evening, madam. Bob Goblin, EPD. Enchanted to meet you quite unexpectedly and totally by accident this very morning. Here's my card.
and he hands you a card.
All right. Yes. How can I help you?
He goes, well,
That is an extremely interesting question. Here is another. May I inquire as to what are you doing at this particular time of day in this particular place? In other words, what's a lady like you doing in a place like that?
And so you want to ask me why I was in this particular establishment. You want to know why I was in Brothers in Arms. Is that right?
he looks at you inquisitively, goes,
Fascinating. Please speak slowly. I'm recording.
and he pulls out a little notebook and starts vigorously scribbling in it.
Now, hang on. All I want to do is make sure I understand your question, Mr. Goblin. You want to know why I was in Brothers in Arms. Is that correct?
He looks at you again and goes,
Well, not quite exactly, my dear. As you know, I'm conducting an investigation, and as such, I would very much like to know a few things about you in particular, and your associates, as one might, call them.
All right. I tell you what. I can't prevent you from asking anything.
Quite.
Ask away.
Yes.
But let me prepare you, Mr. Goblin. And thank you for your card, by the way.
Please call me Bob.
Bob, it's none of your damned business what we're doing here. Can I intimidate him? I don't have any intimidation.
Well, whether you
Thank you.
have it or not, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that this is D&D, so you absolutely can intimidate the crap out of him if you roll well enough.
I didn't.
Gee.
He looks at you and he draws himself to his full height, which is maybe knee height for you, and he looks very official, and he goes,
Now, madam, I am here to conduct the official investigation. As such, we can do this privately, in my office, You can answer a few simple questions here, and I will leave you to your,
He looks around at the store and realizes what it is and goes,
light evening shopping.
Notice he asked for your associates. Wink, wink,
Yeah,
nudge,
I believe
nudge.
I can be of some assistance here. Bob, is it Bob, you say?
Yes,
Allow me.
yes.
It all
Bob
started
Goblin,
approximately
EPD. Here
80
is my
years ago.
card.
and he sends
My
you.
mother and father, you see, were themselves adventurers, extremely well known on the coast, actually. A swordsman and a
Yes,
priestess of cutlery, actually. It's a pantheon, you see, of very, very distinct domains. Originally, it was all plattery and plate work and pottery back when it was granaries and things like that. And eventually, it came down to various minor goddesses and gods and all of that. And my mother, you see, served Plethia, the goddess of cutlery, you see, spoons, knives, that sort of thing, specifically steak knives, silverware. You know, you spend a lot of time polishing,
My
frankly.
good man, you will proceed to
Now,
the point,
further, now,
please.
father, on the other hand, my father was a plumber who originally became an adventurer. You see, he became lost in a maze, and it turns out they have damned poor plumbing and that sort of thing. So
Your
in addition,
name, sir.
this
Name, please. Name. What do people call you, my tall fellow?
Plumbing, fountains, there's always some sort of mysterious fountain going awry and all of that. And it turns out that the sorts of evil fellows that create those sorts of environments become quite irate if their various traps and water-based
While this is
do
going on,
not operate as
Mhm.
expected.
All right, so at this point, Captain Milaf keeps going and going, while Rain
I'm
wants to
gonna
put
And
2
here,
cents
I'm
in.
gonna stand in his face, and I want to fascinate him, because I am awfully goddamn charming.
You
Oh,
are.
is that it?
Oh, my, yes.
I'm unbelievably charming.
And
Well, he
Twig
believes
is
what
right
you're
to just
saying.
hold this down.
Oh, no,
He-
no, no. I want to straight up charm him. My stories are fascinating.
Oh,
Many,
well,
many
all
barbs
right.
have told me. I want him coming along with me.
All right.
You're
You
just
want
gonna
you want him to join
You
in?
following you.
Can he?
As
Okay.
you're walking down the road away
Can
from
you
us.
state plainly what is your goal? Your goal is to ingratiate yourself to Bob Goblin, and you want him to do what?
No. I want to just fascinate him so that he forgets what he's doing here because he's enraptured by my story. I got a natural 20 to throw that sucker. I want basically to allow the Baroness to go do whatever it is she wants to do because Bob is tangled in the mire of my endless tale.
You do so. You do so quite successfully, and he stands there and goes,
Okay, now, what did you say your name was?
Captain, you see, I'm surprised you don't already know it. I'm actually quite well known around these parts. You must be very young or very sheltered, I suppose.
he goes,
At any
Speak
rate, as I was-
slowly. I'm recording.
as I was saying, my father.
and we'll end scene right here because this is going on, and you're doing your job, and you're quite good at it. But other people need to do things too. This is D&D. We need to move things along in that direction. So let us do just that. As he's going on quite successfully about everything that can possibly happen anywhere, you are proceeding into Brothers in Arms. You're saying?
No, we left Brothers in Arms.
Oh, you left Brothers in Arms, and where are you
Yes.
going now?
I'm going along with Rain and Twig
Mm-hmm. Why did you leave Brothers in Arms?
because we were done
Because we-
shopping.
That
far
was
as I
the
know.
last episode.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
This is
before we go to the Fight Club,
before-
we were gonna all we were
Yeah,
all gonna
okay,
go together.
I
Shadow
understand.
Rain. Yeah.
Oh, yes. So Rain is, by the way, Rain, can you tell me a little bit about how you prepared for this clandestine mission? Like, right now, somebody's impersonating you. So, you left that place, right?
Yes.
Can you describe a little bit this whole thing? Like, you left...
Well, everyone else was at Brothers in Arms. I took a rest to replenish my spells and spell slots so I could be at full force to go to my rendezvous.
You did not have
So-
8 hours to do so. Did you take a short rest?
Yes.
Was that sufficient?
Yes, I believe so. I was trying to possibly get rid of my exhaustion because I don't know if...
To get rid of a level of exhaustion requires more than a short rest.
Oh my.
Unless I am mistaken, please correct me if I am. But I believe that exhaustion is actually kind of a difficult situation. You have to like sleep it off, and you didn't have time for that.
Yeah, full long rest.
We had ended the previous adventure, so we left the crypts at noon.
Right.
We got to the old guy's crystallarium at 1:30.
Mm-hmm.
We left at 3
Yes.
from the. So the plan had been, I was subbing in for Rain. Rain would get to sleep 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 until 11, when she would go to her assignation.
Okay. So
And
a lot
then
of
there was going to be a brutal pit fight downstairs in the Undercity, where I assume the Baroness and Malov kill each other.
all right. So let's put this all.
No, we're fighting on the same side.
All right. So I was a little out of order in here just to understand what's happening. So I do. So while you are preparing to sling drinks as Rain, Rain is sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, everybody else have left Brothers in Arms. Before Rain wakes up, where are you going and what you're doing?
Where am I going?
No, Rain, you're asleep. We're
Okay.
not coming to you yet.
Yeah, did you
The
guys wanna do
Baroness,
the Fight Club thing? If it was just
Baroness,
the three of us?
Twig,
I
Captain
can't-
and Captain Malov stepped out of the Brothers in Arms, got accosted by Bob Goblin. So Captain Malov is still there entertaining Bob Goblin, while the Baroness and Twig have gave him the slip and are now doing something somewhere. Something is extremely loud.
Party for this.
All right, that was extremely loud. Okay.
I don't know what that was. So, I will tell you that I need to be refreshed on this secret thing that happens somewhere else at some time, because I don't have any documentation on it. I've got no. I don't have any. There's no notes about it.
All right.
Nothing.
All right. I would encourage you to keep notes if you can, but since this happened in the game time literally 5 minutes ago, I will give you a little bit of a leg up on this. In the future, if you guys don't keep your own personal records in whichever way you can, and I don't have any materials specifically exposed to you that you can look back at by going to the images and maps section or notes. By the way, you can keep notes straight in this thing, in the deal. Just open up the notes
Yes,
thing,
you can
grab
keep
a
them
new
in your
one.
character sheet. That's what I was refreshing myself on.
Right, exactly. So if that happens long term, I won't be necessarily inclined to help. But in this case, what you have found out by talking to Boris and Barry of the proprietors of Brothers in Arms, if you remember, that if you come back at night around 11 or so, there is a contest of skill which they think you would be perfect for. And if you participate, you can win fabulous prizes, money, and just, in general, fame and glory and other things. And they would love to see you do it. And if you will, in fact, participate, and they make some money on you because you win, and they want you to do it fairly, mind, they will be very inclined to perhaps give you a discount on their stuff.
Got it.
They even
Alright.
said that maybe some of their merchandise will end up being prizes. You never know. They haven't really quite made the decision yet. So, long story short, there's a lot of opportunity here. But you have to come back after the cover of night, which is not yet, around 11 o'clock, right when
That's
Rain will be
great.
somewhere else doing something else herself. So,
Super. Well, then I'm taking a nap, because if I'm going to fight tonight, I need to sleep, because we just wiped out all of those ghastly orange slimes.
all right. So, as you're walking back to take your nap, you pass by a couple of stores that I'm going to name that you have not seen before, but it is very important for me to make note. You pass by something known as, you notice there is a sign in front. It looks like this. It says the fine print. And as you peer inside by walking by, you notice that is in fact a books and periodicals store.
You are not there, I don't think.
I
No,
know I'm not.
You're absolutely not. And as you are passing by, you also pass by one of those many SMM kiosks that starts chirping you in this extremely, just obnoxiously, supernaturally cheerful young woman's voice that goes, "Welcome to SMM Kiosk Repository, where our motto is, we give you the stuff you did not know you needed for the rest of your life. Please come closer and we will show you the catalog of wonders which you can purchase for very, very little. Slightly magical merchandise, the division of rituals." And,
Sounds like a Hunbot.
right. And so you pass by that. And, you pass by Bidet and, eventually make your way back. So you're back at the Champions Lodge. You go upstairs. You go to sleep. Twig, are you doing anything special?
I have a question.
Okay, go for it. Yes, yes, yes.
What happened to the stuff I bought at Brothers in Arms? Didn't I buy some things?
You have it on your character sheet, I would hope.
You got it was like a throwing knife or like a comma. It was like a sickle, chain sickle. You got something.
I would hope that you have
knife.
it.
Is that all I have?
You have you have the leash knife. That is all you have bought.
Okay. All right. I remember. Did other people buy things?
No,
Yes.
you had the leash knife and the nunchucks, but the nunchucks were too expensive, and I convinced you to go with the leash knife since it gave you more reach.
Okay.
Yes.
I got a fancy
you
scarf.
have your steel stone staff that is currently equipped. Your
Right.
leash knife is on your belt.
Okay. Can I access that anytime I want?
Absolutely.
Yes.
You just have to
Okay.
basically have to tell me that you're doing that, and you have to spend an action to put your staff away, to take your leash knife
Actually, I
out.
thought
and
we established it was part of her, like, she can either talk to somebody for, like, 2 seconds or draw a new weapon.
You can put one back and come. We'll look that up when the time will come. But basically,
All
yes. The whole
Okay.
point
Yeah.
is something called GP. I don't even know what that means.
Gold points?
No. Anyways, I fixed it. Your character sheet's in order. You have your signet ring, you have your leash knife, you have your steel stone staff, and you're good
Okay.
to go.
Right.
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent. So you pass fine print, you pass the S&M kiosk, you don't really care about the SMM, you don't really care about fine print, you go to bed. Twig, what are you doing?
So the Bob Goblin thing happened when we left the
Yes.
Champions Lodge, right?
Yes.
So as soon as Captain Malove started his story, like Twig doesn't have a book, but he would be walking behind Captain Malove, like trying to write down the life story because he's like fascinated by this because Captain Malove's like one of his heroes and like he's getting like all this like backstory that like he's never heard before and like this humble origin about plumbers and like dungeons and stuff. And you know, I imagine he'd get kind of pulled away at some point to go, you know, follow the Baroness. So if we passed fine print, he'd want to just pop in really quick and maybe get a book because he has this idea that he wants to like start to take the life story of all the adventurers down, you know, because he's like on this adventure with these amazing people and like they killed slimes and stuff and like he wants to be like the chronicler, you know?
Yes, sure. Yes, sure.
Yeah.
So like both of his eyes right now are like little star shaped and he's like walking around and doing it. And yeah, you manage to, you know, you take your notebook and you start scribbling on it feverishly and like making sketches and putting side notes, and you're really good at doing both that and just following them along. You learned a lot in your scout academy, so you're very, very good following your scoutmaster, taking notes while also like making sure you don't bump into things. And so
Walking and
so
writing,
so so
walking
yes,
and writing.
basically you're like hanging on to every word and doing that stuff. Baroness goes in, turns in. She's sleeping. You, Captain Malov, and Bob Goblin go for quite some time, what seems like forever, or 30 minutes, whichever comes first.
Easily.
Easily. You tell them, you know, told tales of great adventure, and finally Bob Goblin goes,
My good man, my good man, I believe I have an appointment to attend to, and I need to be dashing, but this was fascinating. And I would very much like to continue this conversation in a manner which you would prefer. Perhaps I will visit you at the Champions Lodge at a later time, where you can tell me more about your current companions, as I am perhaps investigating one of them.
I guarantee the next time you come around to speak to the Baroness, I will be happy to regale you endlessly with more of this story.
he claps excitedly and goes,
This has been a fascinating experience. I wish you goodbye, sir, and
he makes this elaborate bow and he scampers off, right? And so you have the time to go back now or do something. Since I hardly pay attention to you for some reason, and Twig, I will give you a little bit of FaceTime here. What do you guys want to do?
Well, I mean, yeah, if we have like 8 hours, we should probably rest at some point. But Twig's like really excited. It's like his first adventure. So he, you know, after taking a bunch of notes, he probably would want to go to the Champions Inn and like show off a little bit, you know, walk around and like, you know, I was down in the sewers and we fought some oozes
I don't know if you've fought oozes before, but they're really dangerous. We killed all of them, every single one of them. It was kind of amazing. You know, you want to kind of
Yes.
hobnob with the adventures.
So yes, you keep going and going and going and going, and you guys are walking back, I would imagine, to the Champions Inn, yes?
Yeah, I guess we're gonna go take a rest if everybody else is, right?
Yeah.
Makes
You're walking
sense.
back. You two pass by the fine print. You pass by the SMM kiosk that like chirps at you and invites you to partake at its slightly magical delights. You know,
Been rolling 20s like crazy.
yes. And so as you're passing by, both of you, you notice that your buddy that you have met under conspicuous circumstances, this particular guy, is sitting in the corner, and you know he's got a little his little stall and everything like that. And as you're passing by, he yells at you, "Melons for sale! Melons!"
Oh yeah, this guy. How you doing? You selling a lot of melons today?
He perks up and goes, "No, I am selling very few melons. Would you like to procure one?"
Sure. I mean, I think I got a little extra money. You seem like you need it.
He sighs deeply and goes, "Yes, I have come on hard times. Please purchase my melons. I have an arrangement. Do you have a melon preference?"
Can I do a nature check to look over these melons and make sure that they're natural? And like, is he a naturally occurring creature, or is he like magically created or enchanted?
Well, that's like 3 different checks. Let's start.
Or yeah, like maybe like a nature and arcana or something.
Yeah. He, you know, you come up and you sort of sniff around, and he has a distinct aroma. He smells like bubblegum for some reason. If bubblegum was a thing that existed in the world of our, you know, in the realm. And then you kind of poke at it, and he's rubbery and gummy and whatnot. And he goes, "Ah!" You know. And you look around. He looks very natural, very real. His melons have different colors and distinct flavors, and some of them even like emit small, very, very faint sounds.
Where did you make these? Did you make these melons, or did you find them?
He goes, "I grow these melons in my backyard, located far away. Would you like a melon?"
They smell pretty good. Yeah, sure. I mean, I like to cook and stuff. Maybe I can make some candies out of them or something. Are they related to you?
Oh no.
He looks at you. His little beady eyes get really large. He goes, "I am very inedible."
Oh, I didn't imply that I was going to eat you. I wasn't sure what the etiquette was with the melons that sell melons.
He goes, "I am not a melon, sir or madam."
Sir or madam. It's like I'm as alien to him as he is to me. Like my fireflies would just emit like an embarrassment pattern, you know?
Yes.
I would just quickly pay him and like just
The orange one, it's fine. Okay.
just
He looks at you and goes, "Fine choice. Please have a melon." And he reaches out and he slices up one of his melons, which unfortunately is not popping up, so I gotta get the card ready. This would be this one. All right. And so he deftly slices, very expertly, slices a piece of melon and hands it to you. And goes, "Enjoy your melon. Best eaten fresh. Goes bad within hours."
Oh god, they're elemental melons.
that's pretty sweet. So yeah, I would take it and I would probably just eat it, like thinking
Okay.
it's food.
Yes,
Just eat it like it's food.
You eat a melon, and for the next hour, you gain resistance to fire damage and advantage on all elemental fire-based attacks and spell rolls.
Would it feel weird? Would like I notice that, or would it just be kind of a?
Yes, as you eat it, you feel warm. It's not a warm fruit by itself, but as you eat it, it almost like disperses heat, not heat in terms of like pepper kind of taste, but just warmth.
You
And
feel cozy.
yes, you feel cozy, and you hear like the faint roaring fire coming from like a strange location within your mouth as you swallow it. It almost feels like a fire, like you're eating a delightful fireplace.
I would like, as I was leaving, I would probably just like whisper to him, like, if you're like magical or like sorceress, like me and my friends are very sympathetic to magical people. I mean, like, do you know any like swamp witches, like this Agatha Smog or something? Yeah, just keep it real hush hush, but find us at the Champions Lodge if you need any help,
He looks at you and his eyes get really big and he goes, I have no relation to elemental natures of lore. Please, no more questions.
Okay. Just beware the silent order.
Like walk away, like.
Yes. And as you walk away,
doesn't know
you hear him go, thank you, come again. And you hear sound, and you turn back, and he's gone. You now have this for the next hour, which is to say neither good nor bad. And you're down a gold piece, because that's the price of Elemelons. Captain Milov there, you are doing anything special? No? You're just annoyed by this guy in general?
Yes.
Twig spooked the Genasi melon.
Yeah, I'm gonna be writing down all sorts of conspiracy theories, with like pictures, like drawing like arrows from this thing to that thing.
All right. And so
Actually, the only thing I want to make you guys aware of, apparently my mother's Wi-Fi is vastly worse than I anticipated. So every time I swap over to the Fantasy Grounds and then back to Skype, I lose like 10 seconds of conversation. It's ridiculous. Just to make you aware.
Minimize Skype. It should leave you with a very small window of the person who is talking. It will auto switch, and you can put that somewhere on your desktop which doesn't block too many things.
Yes.
That way you can do both things at once. You can figure it out.
It's not currently going to the person who's speaking.
All right. Well, that I can't help you with, but what I can tell you is that that's the best thing that you can do. I apologize, but yes. So no Elemelons for you. With that, you basically both make it back, unless Captain Milov wants to do something special, and you arrive at the Champions Lodge. There is a hustle of bustle of pre-evening with some guests coming out for luncheon, well, like late luncheon, some people preparing for the evening, just nothing unusual. You can rest until it's time for Rain to go. Meanwhile, as you walk by, you notice incredibly flustered Rain 2.0, like walking around and doing her thing, I would imagine. You exchange conspicuous nods. Rain, meanwhile, it is time for you to awake and sleep out. How do you do that?
Well, we're on the boat. Well, I'm on the boat right now. So
Oh, you
I'm
are?
just
You went
going-
to the boat?
Yes. I went to the boat to sleep since I know I can't do it at the Champions Lodge with my imposter there.
Yes, thank you.
So I am going to just walk off the boat and follow the directions on the note to the northern spiral in the docks and to the third green door on my right.
All right, very well. And so you do that, and as you do, you also take a note that you thankfully, blissfully, have not ran into Professor Brumblebottom. Eventually, you make it to the door. The door is there. It's big and green. How do you proceed?
I am going to attempt to knock on the door.
All right. Let me make a quick check here. All right. None of that. Too bad. Okay. So you knock on the door thrice, and you hear, come in, come in, from behind.
Is this the one where I shattered her so I could just kind of hang out outside the door in case she has trouble?
Yes.
Sure, but before you do that, there is one thing that I would like to get from you, Mr. Milov, and this would be that.
Okay.
I mean, we did know that the meeting time was at midnight, so you should be able to do.
All right.
Well,
All right. So yes, you shadow her. You sort of hide off to the side, and you see her come up, and she knocks to the door. You distinctly hear, come in, come in. The door is unlocked.
Okay, then.
Mm-hmm.
I will go in.
Yes. The door opens into a lovely sort of downstairs area with a room to the side to the right that looks like a little dining area in the kitchen. There's a big stairs leading upstairs. There's light everywhere. It doesn't look very conspicuous. And you hear from upstairs, come in. I'm waiting on the second floor. Please take a right after you dismount from the stairs.
Rain will glide up the stairs very cautiously.
Mm-hmm. Rain does so, and let's see. Here we go.
Persuasion?
Oh no, sorry. I'm a little, two doors down from what I need. Okay. Oh, very
You were a
good.
little too far.
Okay. Yes. So, Captain Milov, you see Rain come in. The door closes behind her, and you don't really see much beyond that, except for the little opening in the door, little viewing area which is open. You can see the light behind it, and you briefly notice that the inside of this place doesn't look any particularly alarming. Looks like a regular old house. Meanwhile, Rain, as you walk upstairs, you notice the faint flickering of the lights, of the chandeliers, and the sconces on the walls, and the shadows out of the corner of your eye. You almost, you can't quite tell. It almost seems like perhaps one or two shadows would wiggle or move in the way they shouldn't. Maybe, who even knows? But you quickly dismiss it as, perhaps the flicker of the light. You come upstairs. You take a right, and you see another big wooden door that is partially, you can tell that it's open. From behind it here, inside, my dear, and please, firmly close the door behind you.
Okay, I do as he asks.
All right. And you walk inside, and you see a gentleman whose appearance I will, for the first time in our campaign, have to describe without a picture because it is inconspicuously missing somehow. So you see a gentleman who is dressed as a fancy nobleman of an unknown rank. You've seen some nobility to recognize fancy clothes from plain clothes very easily, but you can't necessarily make a connection quite yet. You may make some checks to discern furthermore. But you also notice that he's quite old. He's very, very old. He's maybe like 70, maybe 80 years old. He's got a big, long, white beard with some gray hair in it. Some gray beard has white hair in it. This is a completely opposite situation. And he is sitting next to the table upon which there's some writing accoutrements. There's some portraits on the wall. It's like a reading room or a drawing room or one of those things. There's another chair across from him. The room is rather small, so you're not going to be sitting too far. There's some pillows, some cushy pillows on the chair, so as to make you more comfortable. You come in. Do you close the door? Do you leave it open? What do you do?
I go in and take a seat.
Yes, he goes, oh, yes, I'm so delighted. Yes, this is a seat for you, my dear. Allow me to introduce myself. He gets up and he makes this elaborate little bow, very, very courtly kind of, little hop, and with a bow down and a foot up, and goes, my name is Sir Aglo Hasselwurst, and I would be your delighted host for the next hour, in which I would like to discuss matters of grave importance with you. I hope you have the time.
I do believe I have all the time in the world, good sir.
He goes, thank you, first of all, for making it such a rare pleasure to see you. And in the first call as well, you're very trusting, my dear. In the future, might I advise not to be so. There's dangerous and unsavory people among us.
Indeed, but your letter was quite urgent.
He goes, and you see his eyes almost light up. Like his eyes almost seem a little younger than him, with just delight and joy upon hearing the letter. He goes, you have deciphered my letter. I am so glad. That means that my supposition is correct, and you are a lady of sharp wit and considerable mental prowess, which will serve you well, especially in what I have to offer to you.
Intriguing. And what is it exactly you have to offer me, sir?
He goes, well, I understand that lately you have come into a bit of a financial trouble. Is that correct?
Indeed, I have.
Well, as luck would have it, I am finding myself almost in a similar situation, which I'm trying to remedy. And I hope that I could do so with your assistance.
So Bellsby's putting the screws to you, too.
He goes, well, of course, my dear. Let me speak plainly. Should you be interested in the enterprise that I'm about to propose, I most certainly assure you that the least I can do is to cover the entirety of your debt and have you square with Mr. Bellsby. You will, of course, have to return the article that you have procured from him, just to alleviate any further suspicion.
Would not suddenly coming up with the item incriminate me even further?
He goes, oh, my dear, you don't have to worry about that. He will be fairly compensated for his trouble, and he will not be a threat or a danger to you, not a menace and not even a meddle. I will take care of all of it, and even pay you a little extra for your trouble.
Intriguing. And what exactly is this enterprise?
He looks and he kind of reaches out and he strokes his beard as he speaks pensively. He goes, my dear, I myself am, some would say, a patron of champions, of formidable arcane and magical prowess.
I do not know what you're speaking of.
Oh, that's fine, that's fine. This is why I'm trying to explain it to you, if only you would give me a moment. He goes, I recently have been managing a gentleman by the name of Erzatz Sham, who happens to be one of the most prominent duelists in the Silver Spires. He have arrived here under the cover of night and under assumed name to participate in a secret magical championship known as the Wizarding Trial. As such, he was going to fight as my proxy. Well, fight's not really a word for it. Really, it's more of a duel three ways. But long story short, he came down with a horrible case of slimy doom. Something about running into a particular wobbly fella and contracting some sort of horrible disease. Long story short, he cannot participate. Meanwhile, if he doesn't come and compete, I stand to lose a large sum of money.
So you need a caster to champion you.
Yes, I am so glad that you can pick up on this so quickly. This only goes well to illustrate your great mental capacity and the sharpest wit. The rules, of course, are somewhat complicated, but you have a few days to prepare.
Intriguing. And if I were to accept, who exactly would I be fighting?
Well, therein lies a bit of a problem. So, first of all, you would need to pretend, if you will, disguise yourself as Mr. Sham, as I am not allowed to make substitutes, and this is a delicate matter. Of course,
Can you give me a physical description?
Oh, I can do more than that. I can give you a sketch and provide you with a moderate sum of money to procure your disguise, as it cannot be purely magical, you see. There will be precautions set in place to make sure that you don't, cheat.
Of course. Mages and all.
And he produces a beautiful pouch embroidered with silver AH, and he hefts it in his arm, and you note the clinking of coin inside, right? He goes, with this money, you would outfit yourself to look as Mr. Sham to the best of your ability, and then at the appointed time will arrive and try to, be a perfect proxy, if you will.
Is there a specific kind of magic Mr. Sham specialized in or was known for?
Oh, don't worry, my dear. You will be using regulation wands in this particular tournament. So just the ability to cast magic is all that is required. But of course, this is the contest of skill, calculation, and eldritch wit.
I see.
I unfortunately do not possess intricate, detailed knowledge of the particulars of the contest because, you see, every single time it's different to keep things fresh and also to encourage the participants to rely on their raw skill and general knowledge and aptitude as opposed to particular preparation. But you have 3 days to prepare, and I have certain associates who promised to procure enough information to keep you well appraised of the situation with a couple of days to make your decisions, if you will. And he looks at you inquisitively.
Then I accept your offer.
Goes, oh, lovely, lovely. Here, let us shake on it. And he extends his knobby, wobbly little hand towards you.
And I'll go and shake it in return.
Terrific. He goes, my dear, then you will need this. And he hands you the pouch. You open it up. Inside there is 100 gold pieces. Yes, I'm sure you'll count it later.
Yep.
And he goes,
Another 100 gold.
and I understand that you're staying at Mr. Belsby's establishment. I will send a courier within 12 hours by noon tomorrow to provide you with all of the intelligence information that I can gather in this short time. Rest assured, Mr. Belsby will be well compensated and instructed not to bother you further with his nonsense and to relieve you from his employ.
Thank you very kindly, good sir.
Goes, oh, my dear, the pleasure is mine, the pleasure is mine. He smiles, and winks at you and goes, well, better not overstay our welcome, you and I must depart, as this is clearly not my accommodations. And as for you, my dear, I hope that you will find your way safely, not to the lack of your gentleman friend's ability to guide you back to your lodgings.
I give him a slight nod. Of course.
Goes, well, I would normally show you out, but as you see, there's a delicate matters. I'd rather not be seen. I bid you farewell, and I will see you in 3 days at the Triad. And he does another little elaborate, graceful bow to you and kind of shows you to the door.
I'll return it this time, given my background, and I will exit.
All right. And with that, you come out and you walk back, and Captain Malov stealthily sort of joins you.
What was that all about?
I just got the job.
Really?
Yes.
What does it entail?
We will discuss later with the rest of the group.
Absolutely.
You make it back. It's somewhat uneventful. You get accosted by some of the slightly magical merchandise machines, but they get a little quieter as it is very late at night, and so you don't arouse particular suspicion. You make it back, and as you come back, you see a particularly flustered you trying to sling drinks. Meanwhile, you need to get inside, and are you coming back to the Champions Lodge, or what are you doing, Rain?
I'm not going to go to the Champions Lodge because I have an imposter there.
Mm-hmm.
So I am actually going to go... I'm going to tell my love to signal to Papa that I'm ready to fill back in for the rest of my shift, and then plot some kind of a switcheroo.
All right. Meanwhile, Papa, you are busy slinging drinks. It's been a while. How long did these guys last?
That's a very good question. I'm afraid the answer is not going to be one that you're going to like. Where's my spells again? Crap, that's under
This
ability?
guy's self. I see it. It lasts for 1 hour. So 1
That's
hour.
what I thought. It's 1
Yes.
hour.
Yes.
So-
So 1 hour passes. What do you do?
So I believe I can cast it 3 times?
Yes. You're safe
Alright.
for 3 hours. Meanwhile, we're
So-
doing this retroactively, so, you know.
No. It's okay. I knew I couldn't keep this up all night. I already have the contract, which is what I needed.
Uh-huh.
So at this point, I could literally go up to Fancy Pants McBellbottom, go,
Uh-huh.
and leave.
Uh-huh.
But that's too easy. I would much rather make something more Papa style.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It wouldn't
One.
be us to take the easy route.
things were. You say I was struggling. I would like to think I managed pretty well, except I'm unaccustomed to heals. I find that to be challenging, and I do occasionally dump a plate of drinks on people, mostly if they felt me up. But whatever. As I feel that my 3rd hour is coming to an end, I realize I need a big showy distraction to cover up for the fact that I won't be working the rest of my shift.
Mm-hmm.
And I can then let Rain know and let her decide how she wishes to depart the premises permanently.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to set fire to the kitchen.
Of course.
That's appropriate.
Now,
You're gonna-
I have a bunch of moonshine, which
Uh-huh.
is pretty high proof.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to take advantage of an opportunity to go back there, show a cook or someone some cleavage
There's a
to
full
Mr.
staff. It's a pretty big establishment. There's maybe
Excellent.
a dozen people minimum working the kitchen.
Then
Not
I
counting.
am going to take a moment. Let me just see. I do believe I also have like a minor image ability. I have, hang on, knock suggestion, dancing light. Oh, okay, that'll do. Sure. So I will. Okay. Yes, I will do this. I will go up to the largest of the cooks
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
and cast suggestion and say, "Yeah, sacre bleu! Look on the back of that man's head. There is a giant bug. You need to swat it away."
All right, let's see. How does the suggestion work exactly?
Oh, the suggestion spell. You say a
save?
phrase as the spell, and the target has to make a save or
Uh-huh.
do as you ask them to.
Yes.
Okay.
A wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. All right, fair
I'm looking
enough.
for a meathead-looking guy, right? So I'm hoping he won't be very wise.
What's my target number? What's your...
Is 8 plus proficiency plus modifier.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's I think that's 12.
Yeah, that seems about right. Let me check. Yeah.
What proficiency in what?
Proficiency in spellcasting. So whatever the spellcasting, I guess charisma.
Spellcasting
So
ability,
charisma.
yes.
Oh, my charisma's +4.
So 4 plus proficiency plus 8 would be
So that's
your
12.
DC.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, that's right. So
12,
4
yes.
plus 2 plus 8. That's, 12.
Yep.
No, that's
Wait. it's
14.
8. Oh, it's 14.
14.
Okay, so
8
there's an
plus
extra
4 is 12, plus 2 is 14.
14.
Man, we're brilliant, aren't we?
All right. The giant gator man, who is, of course, the chef there, turns around and goes, "Say, what? I don't see any bugs on his head."
Damn.
Shit.
All right. Well,
Higher than a 14, I guess.
better than a 14. I need a quick second. So then, that's okay. I'm going to go straight performance here and freak out like I saw it anyway. Let's do persuasion.
Indeed. Let's.
Shit.
Persuasion for Mr. Farley.
Oh no!
No, he turns around and just straight up slaps you across the face and goes, "Pick yourself up, woman! What is this? I'm cooking!" And he turns around and somebody is like, "We need 3 chickens stat." And he's like, "Yes, chef." And he comes in and starts doing his things.
Then in that case,
Yeah, burn this place down. It's full of like racists and people that like slap waitresses. Like,
no.
You should totally burn this place down.
We're just gonna burn it down.
This is terrible.
Then I'm burning this whole place down. So
Hey, no. My new employer has Belsby by the balls somehow. Come on.
No. This is done.
Moral imperative.
While I'm been knocked against the hearth, I'm holding my face and sobbing. Oh, they cry. I throw my moonshine in the hearth and then get the heck out of there, because that's going to be a heck of a boom when it goes.
All right.
I already.
Oh, there it. Oh, yes, you did. Yeah, all right. You throw it into the thing. You get the heck out of there. Some moments pass, and then you hear, right? And almost immediately, there are screams. There's panic. There's all sorts of stuff, and you don't even know what. There's water starts going on. All the doors to the kitchen and everything just shut close, like they're on sort of some kind of mechanical, thing. Water starts seeping from underneath it. There's like maybe, 15 minutes of panic, and then one by one, chefs and poor sobs that were in there, some of them injured, some of them not, and drenched, wet, come out, and Belsby kind of rushes into the middle of things and goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, I regret to inform you that the kitchen and lobby are closed due to the unfortunate accident." And he motions. You notice also that he is speaking with someone who you couldn't quite see, somebody who you've never met before, some gentleman who is dressed in black velvet with a big ruffle thing. He looks rather official. He turns to the gentleman and goes, "My good man, I understand. I will deal with her as you have instructed. Thank you very much." They exchange, handshakes. A rather large leather pouch leaves the velvety, the black velvet clad gentleman's hand and ends up in Belsby's pocket, which he pats down to the perfect firmness and leanness. And then he turns around and looking for Rain and kind of looks at you. This is still your basically the bottom of the third hour before it all pops and you're back into a pumpkin. And he goes, looks at Papa and goes, "Rain, I believe that your benefactor have settled your debt. You're no longer in my employ. Your contract is null and void. Now scamper up to your room and stay out of trouble. Somebody just blew up my kitchen." And, people come in, people start cleaning. There is just general mess. All the guests scare up and they run up the stairs and they get back into the room. Some of them, pack up and leave. There's basically chaos going on until sometime later. It all goes like that.
Well, now I'm almost disappointed I didn't just flip him off and leave. On the boss, though, I did almost burn down the Champions Lodge, so I guess I'm happy either way. All right, I quickly find a closet or some out-of-the-way place so that I can turn back into Papa, covered in blue ink, and head back out and talk about how one of the fire suppressors, it was blue ink, was coming out of it. What the heck?
Yes. Yes, meanwhile, Rain manages to completely undetected, I'll just give it to her, because there is just chaos and people are leaving back and forth. She manages to slip back in and gets wet and dirty on the way anyways, because everything is downstairs. And there you are. You can regroup. After some time, through basic and magical means, things start calming down. The kitchen is a mess, but people are sort of cleaning it. The maids have come out and now mopping the floor. Belsby is rushing from one person to another and paying you absolutely no mind. Bob Goblin comes in, tries to do something, and Belsby shows him the door immediately, and he's like, later, we're far too busy. And so that goes on. You guys are kind of left to your own devices.
So I present to Rain when I see her a both water and ink logged contract
It's a wad of paper at this point that is basically like a wet napkin.
So I reckon this is maybe not the best presentation you've seen of legal paperwork in the past, but I have secured your emancipation from the onerous terms under which you have been employed.
Actually, Papa, I have secured my own freedom. But thank you kindly.
All right. At this point, you can return to your rooms and discuss whatever it is that you need to do.
I am going to tell the party about my new job, where I apparently just have to duel another spellcaster. And he also wants us to return the monocle.
Let me get this right. I have managed to free you from a contract wherein you have an onerous employment obligation to someone. And while I was in the middle of fixing that, you have gotten an onerous employment obligation with somebody else.
It appears that way. And I am not owned. I am simply helping a friend. There is no obligation for me to continue after this event.
If I weren't the kind... If I weren't the kind of guy to drink, you'd be driving me to drink.
I'm all about a slippery solution of 3 to any given problem. But am I to understand that your new contract is that the 2,000 gold is paid off and we return the item that we were paying 2,000 gold for?
Thank you. I had that same question. I don't understand it.
It's more like dirty money to clear our name so Billsby doesn't make a stink about it.
But we don't need to return the monocle. That doesn't. If the money is paid back that he asked for, then the debt is expunged.
Yes.
This is very true.
Do you want to duel this guy? Do you want to like get paid and take it on like a job? But if not, maybe just return the money and we just call it square.
Mind you, I'm all about dueling, by all means. Nevertheless,
I think this actually might be a better way to ingrain myself in a circle with other spellcasters. Magical knowledge is very few, especially outside the Silent Order's regulations, and these ones sound interesting.
Won't you be exposing yourself, though? I'm curious about something. I mean, you've been kind of keeping yourself under wraps and all, and I wonder...
I will be in disguise as another. No one will know it is me.
Ah, that's right. All right. Well, jolly good, then. But I don't think, I say Pawpaw and my love, I don't think we have any interest in giving up this here monocle, do we?
I mean...
Indeed, I actually believe that we can get rid of this thing.
Say what, my love?
I don't have any particular fixation on it. It just seemed like it wasn't the best possible arrangement for us to pay for it and return it.
Right.
I do believe that we could possibly get rid of the monocle and clear our names as well with Bellsby. Do you remember that drow woman at the shop with those other magical items that came to her from one place or another?
I remember the magical shop, and she had many wonderful things.
Yes, well, if we perhaps trade the monocle to her, since we now know its monetary value, we could essentially get an item or two out of her, give it to her, and then tell Bellsby that we've discovered its location.
Ah, that's
I
very
will give you a moment to
surreptitious.
discuss this as I attend to a small matter. You have this time. There is no need to turn any microphones off or anything. Please continue. I will put on the BRB sign otherwise, and we will return in about a minute.
All right.
May I just kindly suggest, Rain, that if you go to a merchant and sell her something and then sick the law on her, she's apt to tell you who sold her the item that the law came to her for.
And framing someone's wrong. I mean, we should get. I mean, what if the monocle was like from his mother and it was like his treasured possession? I mean, and then frame somebody else for stealing it? I just don't feel good about doing that.
I cast Alter Self on myself to appear like a high elven noble with way too much money. Problem solved.
Well, I mean, the moral problem isn't solved.
Actually, it's that I'm not opposed to framing anyone. It's just I don't see the advantage in it. I mean, if we find someone that'll take it off our hands, then we do the exact same thing without the framing. You appear to be this ostentatious noblewoman. You sell her the monocle. We secure whatever it is that we're interested to from her in her shop, and then it becomes her problem if anyone investigates any further than that. Hell, perhaps Buzzably, whatever his name is, perhaps he'll buy it.
Belsby, sir.
It is entirely possible he'll buy it back from her. And nevertheless, I don't see any advantage in framing.
True. Perhaps that last bit was a little too far.
Well, mostly, again, I think that we ought to just keep the monocle, call all things even, sell it to her, and tell him that, look, you charged us 2,000 gold for it. You were paid. It belongs to us. We can dispose of it how we like.
Yes, but then in doing so, don't we admit to stealing it in the first place?
Hasn't he already signed a contract to the effect that we did, whether we did or we didn't?
I mean, it's like if you
Yes,
could
but he
find
has no
something.
evidence.
Well, again, but there was a contract that said we owed him 2,000 gold for it, in which case we paid for it. If we didn't steal it, in which case he owes us 2,000 gold. But since he's got his money and we've got the item, I'd say all debts are clear. Then
Seems
you
all
can
legal. That seems
Sounds
right.
logic to me.
You can duel your fellow with whatever, to whatever end. I'm not sure how a magical duel works exactly.
Apparently, there are wands involved.
It sounds really cool.
It does sound cool, doesn't it?
No. I fully endorse and support all of that, but I would say that if there was sufficient legal ground to charge us 2,000 gold coins, then the debt is settled.
Yeah, you break the law, you pay the fine, and then you're free to go, right? Your punishment paid. It seems like it all balances out.
All right.
And then
I
you
would
just
go with the clandestine intelligence of the group.
I'm not
And
opposed.
besides, Belsby has essentially been paid off to simply not make a fuss about this either.
There you
And
go.
since this new benefactor of mine seems to have some lofty connections, he could be an ally in the future.
Certainly. I say that we sell the, if we want to, if we think that we can benefit more from selling it to the woman and getting the other items, then we sell it to the woman and get more items.
I do believe so as well, because the monocle is only good for telling us the value of an item. It doesn't necessarily tell us, well, how to get it.
Well, it does let you see. Now, you may not have had experience entering into people's houses unexpectedly, but frequently they put the most valuable things in places that are very hard to see. Having an item that tells you through solid matter where a high value item is, I mean, I could definitely see a long-term value in having such an item if I were to ever accidentally find myself in someone's house unexpectedly.
But it's
Or
true,
we
very
can
late
walk
at night, all
around.
have the same.
This is very true, and you do wear glasses.
Incidentally, we're back, just to let you know.
All right.
And with that, unless you guys want to deliberate some more on the subject of all of this, I would
I
like...
think we're ready to go.
I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're gonna keep the monocle and.
I think we're ready
All
to
right.
go. Not talk about Fight Club.
I think
All
so.
right. All right. It's about that time. With that, are you going to be going down to the Brothers in Arms?
Brothers in Arms.
Yeah.
I think we should go
Indeed.
as a group. Am I right?
Yes.
Imagine not splitting the party. What?
What?
Yeah, I know.
Everyone's here. What?
Crazy.
What?
Crazy, crazy,
I know,
crazy.
right? Everyone's here. Everyone's working together in the
Now,
same.
hang on a
Yeah.
second. Has everyone been to Brothers in Arms? Were we all there together?
I was the
No.
only one that wasn't there
No,
because
we-
I was sleeping.
No, Papa was missed. Apparently. All right. Well, then let's go. Let's go take a look. You might find something that actually appeals to you.
We broke the first law of Fight Club real bad. We told everybody about it.
We
They
did.
just show up with like a huge group of people.
Well, you know, that's their rule, not our rule.
Good
And
point.
and frankly, among our little clan here, it's may as well be speaking to yourself because we're so close. And
Yeah,
that's what I'll tell
I-
them if they're worried.
Yeah.
My scarf.
All
of,
right.
Scarf of cheering out ready.
Yay.
With that, the time is to arrive at the Fight Club, and so you go. And you find yourself in front of Brothers in Arms. It is about close to midnight, And Brothers in Arms seems to be closed as the door is locked, and there's a big sign, flipped around that says, go away, see you tomorrow kind of thing, no admittance. But you see the light behind the shutters.
Mm-hmm. And so, I say, did they tell us how to knock or anything? I can't recall quite, but I don't mind knocking on the door.
I could let us in.
Oh, you could. You have one of those Aloha Mora things or whatever.
It's called a luck pick.
There you
Maybe
go.
we just try knocking
I
first.
prefer to think of it as a universal key.
A universal key, how perfect. I don't mind knocking. We
It's
might as well
troublesome. That's
try.
the first thing you go to.
Well, I mean, I don't mind knocking. I just
Knocking's good. I agree with knocking.
Very good, dear. All right, so let's try. And so I knock on the door.
Never knock on doors.
You knock on the door. At first, there is nothing. And then, they got these little shutters. And you see somebody split the shutters. And you see a big boggly eye with a green skin behind it. And you hear, "Who is this?
No.
Why you here at this time? Store closed."
We're not here for anything because
No.
nothing is happening.
Nothing that we would ever talk about, ever.
So he
We're here
goes,
for the Fight Club, sir. I heard.
Oh my God, Twig.
he goes, "Shut your mouth, strange and lanky bogart. The rest of you come in." And he opens the door and kind of ushers you in. And sure enough, you see in front of you your favorite friends, Boris and Barry Armstrong.
Mm-hmm.
One goes, "I'm Boris." And the other goes, "And I'm Barry. And together we are." And they'll both go together and they say, "The Brothers in Arms." They flex a little. He goes, "You're here for big fight, yes? Who will fight? The skinny bogart?"
Oh,
Rain's
no.
gonna
Oh,
fan herself like hello.
Now, I'm not volunteering. I got a question. Is Boris purple or is Boris green?
It was green. I'm a fine shade of lavender, sir.
There's a fine shade lavender indeed. I have some. Is gambling allowed in this event that's not going to happen?
He goes, "Allowed? It's downright expected. You've come to the right place, my tiny, puny bogart friend."
This sounds like my type of deal.
He goes, "Yes. Now, if you will be so kind to take this large, stinky sacks, put them over your heads, and tie the ropes."
All
Large-
of us.
Put large stinky sex on my head?
Now, hang on. Boris, Barry, all of us. You want us all to put these things on our head?
Yes, he produces
Yes,
a bunch of
yeah.
burlap sacks that are colored sort of like bluish green.
No question, Twig just puts it on his head immediately. And ties
Of
it.
course he
gonna go ahead
does.
And, I'm going to take the sacks from them and I'm going to put them over each of their heads. And as I do so, I'm going to use my palm knife to cut eye holes, thin, tiny eye holes in them as I do so.
Okay.
All right. So, where are we all?
I feel okay about that.
There you go.
Mm.
Yes, you do.
Ooh,
All
he's
that.
feeling really good this whole game.
Yeah.
Not
hell
All
yeah.
right.
obvious.
Yes. So
Got just little slits so they can see what's coming in case, Fight Club starts right here once we put our bags over our heads.
sure.
Sure.
So-
May I make a roll for perception, please? I
you
want to see if there's anything that I need to pay attention to before I get involved.
now before you do, let me make another clear distinction. You being the newest player of D&D, there's a difference between perception and insight. Perception is to notice things that are happening. Insight is to notice somebody's intention, spot somebody in a lie, or therefore. Is that perception that you're actually looking for?
Well, I'm looking for physical clues.
Indeed, perception it is.
I'll be right back. I'm going to grab a drink.
Damn yeah, modern 20.
You have to be a little more specific.
I am looking to see if there's anything, any kind of clue to the kind of combat we're going to encounter, and if there's anything that could possibly trip us up while we're wearing a sack over our head. To be honest, I don't want anyone to fall.
You can see somewhat through the slits that Captain Malaf have put in the sack. So you're not
Yes.
entirely, but it's though he succeeded, it is by no means a good way for you to see your surroundings or remember where you're going. You can much easier see down if you look down kind of at your feet.
Sure. Yes.
And as you're putting this axe on and as this is happening, you don't see anything inconspicuous. Both Boris and Barry, they have their hammers to the side, which you know can easily be used as bludgeoning instruments. And they're kind of waiting, and one of them is just going, yeah, you know, as this is happening. As
Righto.
soon-
So then, may I also roll for insight? Is it possible to do that?
So long as you tell me what it is you're trying to be insightful about.
I should like to be insightful about what Boris and Barry are thinking and what their intent is.
That is a little too broad. You're not
Is
a
it?
mind reader. What you can do
All
is
right.
to say, do they seem to be honest and forthcoming? Are they?
Do they seem to be
like
honest
they're-
and forthright about
Right.
exactly what we are doing,
Mhm.
and there's no indication of subterfuge,
Indeed.
and it stinks?
Absolutely not. They're absolutely honest, and you are 100% certain that there is nothing to fear.
All right then. I'm leery, but there we are. All right. Jolly good. Well, then I think we should
Indeed.
march on.
Everybody has the bags on, and Boris, or Barry, it's really hard to tell, goes, okay, brother, open up. There is some shuffling. Boris kind of bunches you together and slowly prods you at the back to kind of orient you. You go, and he goes, now step lively, but mind your feet. You will be
So
going
what is-
down a few stairs.
And we all just walk down the stairs very normally. 'cause
Yes,
it's
you
gonna-
We can see perfectly.
Yes, well, yes, he's like, if you position your puny hands on walls, you can trace your way down to make sure you do not make a crazy face fall downstairs and embarrass yourself before fight. And the other one
I
goes,
like the decoration of this
and then-
hallway.
Shh.
Oh,
Be quiet now. Hush now. Let's not make personal comments about people's decoration, dear. It's not polite.
You walk down for some time. You find yourself in the basement of Brothers in Arms. From what you can see from the slits, it's like a big store warehouse. There's a big forge in there. I mean, like a typical, store/blacksmith shop kind of deal. You see Barry go to the corner somewhere outside of, you're not really facing that way. And he rifles through something. There is like movement and crates being pushed and barrels being rolled. And eventually you hear large trapdoor of some kind is being, open. And then he goes, you will be going down some stairs. Please do not fall and break various appendages. Thank you. My brother will help you down. And so, Barry comes up as Boris is standing and holding the trapdoor, and he lifts each of you like you're nothing, and gently lowers you into the first step and kind of holds you by the shoulders as you're stepping down. And throughout the entire thing, they act like complete gentlemen. They're being very careful, and they're gently sort of moving you. You descend into something that seems like an underground passage. It smells faintly of wet and a little mushroomy and damp and mossy, and you don't quite see what Boris does as he's the last one to descend. Then you see him light a candle, and you hear ding ding ding. Thank you for using rituals for the protection of your secret passage. Rituals where our spells is most certainly your business. Right? And so, you hear this sort of a magical pop, and it gets bright for a brief second, and then it dissipates and it's dark again. Both Barry and Boris go light up some torches, and they're like, please try not to fall down to your death. And they sort of usher you down for some 15 minutes, close to 20 minutes, through winding corridors. Even though you can sort of kind of see eventually, you're underground. You don't know where you are. Don't expect to remember how to get back, so to speak. Nobody is, making a map or giving you one. And after a while, You
Really, how
arrive.
many passages could there possibly be?
Yeah, could I do, since I can see, can I use a survival check to like use my ranger abilities to kind of, make a mental map of the way to go so I could get back this way if I wanted
Yes,
to?
Gary Negroponte will be proud. Yes, make that mental map.
Oh man, not good.
You have
Too
no earthly idea. It's too freaking dark. You're just so enthralled by what's happening. Like, this
Too
is the
excited to
coolest
remember.
thing that ever
Rain
happened
is
to
going
you.
to be sniffing the air and looking around to see if there might be any entrances to the sewers from this secret chamber.
Mm-hmm. Right,
So is that
nature.
perception?
Well, do me a perception check, I guess. Sure.
Can do. One. There we go.
Come on, Fishbutt, roll that die. Okay, excellent.
Oh wow, that's not bad.
It smells too damp to be sure, but it does not smell like poop. So maybe not.
Okay.
Eventually, you arrive at a big wall with a sort of a portcullis, which you clearly hear being raised, and you're ushered into this big room, which here, where Barry and Boris remove the bags from your head, and you find yourself in this sort of like an entrance in front of a big entrance in a room which is clearly felt cut out with wooden beams and supports and clearly made by by hand. There are some tables. You see a variety of weapon racks around you. There's some armor hanging around. All of it is kind of beat up and used and whatnot, but very serviceable. There are some tables and chairs, some towels with splotches of not water on them, and Barry and Boris goes, "Welcome to the great underground secret fight club that nobody knows about, except for you, and people that are there, and us, and people that a lot of people know about, but don't tell anybody more."
Yes,
He goes,
Yes,
the
for
rules are
fans,
simple. Who will be fighting?
I believe that would be me.
All right, and let me give you a little bit of explanation of how this is going to work. So you are sitting in this big room. There's a exit. All in front of all that separates you from the other room, in which, by the way, you hear lively discussion and some music being played and like lots of people and money being exchanged and somebody is screaming out and like, "Final call for bets. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen, and Gatorman and assorted Bogarts." And it is just a big, rough, sort of thick leather skin curtain that is like separating you from whatever is beyond that. And Barry looks at you and goes, "Okay, who will be fighting in the underground secret nobody knows about fight club?"
I say, was Pawpaw making a gesture? Do you need to be?
I need to make sure I place a bet, so don't forget to give me a chance for that before all done.
He goes, "Are you going to be fighting my itsy bitsy Bogart?"
No, I think the woman with the hard hand and the man with the pointy stick might.
He goes, "Oh, well, well, off you go into the audience chamber then." And he like pats you on the back so hard you nearly fly through the thing. And as you walk through, Pawpaw, you find yourself in this here room right here.
Okay.
Oh, I say.
There's a bunch of people. Some of them are gambling, some of them are drinking. A bunch of them are centered around what seems like a rather small arena encircled by stones. You, Francis Pawpaw Farley, are there and therefore are about right there. And so he pushes you through, and now you can just kind of move freely about the room and decide where it is that you want to be. To the left of you, you hear, "I say, my itsy bitsy friend, would you be interested in making a substantial bet?" And you say,
Sure. Do you bet with money? How does betting work?
He turns at you and he kind of laughs and goes, "Of course you bet with money. What do you think this is?"
If I lose, can I take it back? I've never bet before.
He goes, "All right. Well, the rules are very simple. We have fighters here, see? And each fighter has what they call odds on them. So some may be 2 to 1, some may be 3 to 1, some may be 1 to 1. Meaning, if you pay a gold in a 1 to 1 fight, you win your money plus 1 gold back. If it's 2, it is twice that amount plus your initial investment, and so on and so forth. If you bet on someone, they don't win, well, you lose your money. Very simple.
All right. I saw a couple people who seemed very fierce. I'd never met them before. I thought maybe I could bet on them.
He goes, all right. Happen to know their names?
One was Baroness de something.
All right. He scribbles it down. Baroness de something.
And
Terrific.
one was
Yes,
a
yes,
famous-
yes.
A famous, although a little less famous than me, a hero called Captain Malike Malove. Captain Malove. There you go.
He goes, Captain McLove. Yes, of course.
So I'll put 20 on each.
20 on each. Well, their odds, they're being new and all, probably going to be, he kind of looks at them and goes, he goes, oh, she is participating. Well, in that case, I would give you, 3 to 1 odds.
I mean, I would note that this Malove guy was pretty old. Like, he might die before the fight. Maybe 4 to 1 is more fair for him.
He goes, well, I don't know. I've never seen them before, and I'm a bookkeeper here, so, I'm not necessarily sure.
Persuasion skill.
Oh.
He goes, no dice. 3 to 1.
I'll take 3 to 1, fine.
All right. So he takes your money, takes 40 gold from you, goes, 40 on one or 20 on each?
20 on each.
20 on each, and he writes it down. He writes you out a proper receipt and kind of, tears it off, gives it to you. He goes, present it to me in the event of the win tonight. I kill myself.
Thanks. Now, I just have one more question before I go. I've heard about this thing called cards before. Is that what's happening over there?
He goes, have you fallen off a tree and hurt your head? Why, yeah, it's a card game.
I mean, I'm a musician. I don't know nothing about no gambling.
It was gambling? We do not have gambling here. Only exciting, completely legal games of chance perpetuated by completely honest and fair individuals.
That sounds right. So I'm going to go investigate that totally honest game of paper chance. And I'll watch for a little bit before I play. I want to give a little break so you guys can have the other team do their stuff.
Yeah, indeed.
I attempt to scam you guys out of some money.
Yeah, indeed. You go off and you do the thing. Meanwhile, Barry and Boris basically look at you and go, oh, all right. Who is here going to be fighting, please?
That would be me.
He kind of looks at you and goes, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you will too. Well, that's, I don't know. What's that?
Milan,
delightful.
how wonderful! It would be. I can't wait to see. Can't wait to see what happens.
Boris looks at Barry and goes, look at him. This one thinks he is as good as Captain Malov. That's a big joke. He doesn't even look anything like him. Captain Malov is at least twice as wide and maybe 3 times as tall. Muscles from here to the next room. This one, tries to pass for Captain Malov. Oh, big joke. Big joke indeed. He goes, okay.
He would run up and go, you take that back. This is Captain Malov, and he's amazing. Let me tell you. And just go on and on.
Yeah. He kind of swats you off, He goes, okay, I be telling you rules now. Please pay attention because I be having one time to explain. Yes, thank you.
All right.
Is 3 kind of fight. Bare knuckle fight. Puny sorcerer fight for those without muscle. And my personally favorite, slime wrestling. He goes, bare knuckle fight. 2 people enter the ring. Smack each other in mouth with fist. 1 leaves. Sorcerer duel. We don't pay attention and do important things while you throw spells at each other. Slime wrestling. You strip down to your previous. We cover in slime. You wrestle. winner takes all. Is that clear?
Oh, I'm disappointed, I must say.
He goes,
So there's no weaponry. It's all simple skill, is it?
well, yes.
All right.
How else
a
you
monk
fight?
should love
Yeah, you're
a
gonna just destroy everybody.
A monk will murder people.
Just, I'm playing at subterfuge.
Okay, that's fine. As long as Deidre is clear what's going on here.
Yes, yes.
All right.
I,
goes,
in this,
"So,
in this time
so,
I actually am. So-
First thing first, no weapons allowed. Please position weapons in this iron barrel. And he opens up an iron barrel. There's a big lock, whatever. All weapons, please don't make me shake you over it with your head dangling down.
So you want me to put my self-defense weapons in this barrel? Really?
Yes, please, madam.
All right. There you are. I want a receipt, though.
He goes, ask guy with book outside who knows how to write. He writes receipts for us. Everyone else, weapons, please, inside
All right, everyone.
barrel.
I suppose you need to unload your weapons into this thing, but this is our barrel only. Am I right?
He goes, sure, your barrel.
Okay. As long as I just don't want us
Not
our
even,
things getting
not even
anyone
gonna
else.
charge you rent for that one.
What? You're going to what?
Oh, nothing. Little rent joke.
Uh-huh. All right. So I must see your man with the pen, please.
Yes. So, Baroness, he goes, your friends can go talk to men with pen. If you fight, you stay inside for surprise. You come when name called. You make big show, flex muscle, come into ring, punch face.
All right. But before I want, who is my opponent going to be? That's what I need to know.
He goes, oh, well, tonight we have... Tell him, Barry. Barry steps up and goes, oh, And he fishes in the pocket and produces like a scrap of paper and goes, oh, this is my favorite. Tonight, challenges are Old Mad McGurkle, Matilda Stabbington Smythe, the Heroine Harris, and Dwayne the Rock Golem Johnson.
Very good. All right. Well, I'm more than ready. So you just
He goes,
I
who you
will
wanna
wait for
fight?
you?
Who you wanna fight? 1, 2, or 3? How will that be?
Oh, so I get to pick. All right.
Well,
you have.
I tell you, you go against Dwayne, you win big money. You go against Old Mad McGurkle, you win lunch. You figure it out.
I will take that last Johnson fellow then.
He goes, really? You? For sure?
You're the one who asked me to fight. Why not start big? That's what I think.
He goes, well, all right, it's your funeral. Just remember, we do not cover medical expense. That one's on you.
Yes, do I get to laugh? That sounds like a joke to me.
He goes, yes, little fight joke. I like
Yes,
your spirit.
little
And he
fight
like,
joke.
and he slaps you on the back so hard that you like double up a little bit from surprise. You know, he's like, I like you. I hope you come back with all your teeth so I can buy you dinner.
Jolly good. I say let's get started.
All right. So off you come out, Baroness. I will now place all of you in the room. You can position yourselves wherever the heck you think you should stand. I'll make you a little larger because, reasons. Lady Rain, there you is, a little bigger than that. Thank you very much. There you are. And Baroness, last but certainly not least, you are staying behind there because you haven't been called yet. So there you are. And let me see.
Do I need to divest myself of these things? Because I've got things equipped. Does it matter?
You will be using your hand-to-hand skills anyways, which are always equipped. Just
Okay.
don't use the weapons that are equipped. Otherwise, we will assume. I mean, unless you want to just de-equip them. In fact, you know what? I will do that for you because that takes not more than just a second. So your leash knife is gone. Well, not gone, but you know what it is.
Off.
Steelstone
Yes.
staff is off, but you have it, and you have your unarmed strike, which is how you're going to fight. So, you come out and you hear, "Ladies and gentlemen," everybody goes, and a big crowd. They're all like, "Yeah," people are throwing shit, and everybody, get like really excited. "I am proud to announce the beginning of the bi-weekly, extremely secret and private fight club that nobody knows about." Everybody's like, yes. Yeah.
Can I use before, like, as the fight begins? Can I start using the shawl of support? Like, I would use it like every round if I can
You
to give her
absolutely-
+1 on all of her attacks.
Yes, you absolutely can. That's why you have it. So there you are. And he goes, "In tonight's matchups, Old Mad McGuckle," everybody's like, "Boo!" "Against Matilda Shabbington Smythe," everybody's like, "Yeah!" "And in the second and most exciting match of the night, Dwayne, the actual Rock Golem Johnson," everybody's like, "Yay!" They're going crazy. "Versus," he goes, "Psst, hey, what should I call you?"
You may call me Baroness Saffron Rothschild.
He goes, "The one, the only, the unknown, unmasked and ready to fight, Baroness, the Baroness," and everybody's like, "Yay!" "She's old, she's regal, and she's ready to crack heads," and everybody's like, "Yay!" "Ladies and gentlemen, before the fight begins, you may place your bets," and everybody's like, 15 on Baroness, 300 on Dwayne Rock Johnson. This is just all craziness. Breaks loose. You guys got a couple of minutes to kind of decide what it is you want to do, where you're going to stand, where you're going to look, Yes? No?
So
Fish?
I'm still waiting. I'm waiting outside.
All right. Excellent.
Can I put a bet? Can I place a bet on her?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I would walk up with like my entire bag because one of my ideals is betting. So like, I would just put all my money on the Baroness.
You go on the Baroness.
She's gonna kick his butt, I know it.
Now the guy kind of looks at you and he notices that you have your scout's badge and he goes, "Now lad, you understand that she's fighting the actual Rock Golem Johnson."
I know, and you know what? She's my friend, and with the power of friendship, she can beat anyone.
He goes, "All right. All of your money then. That'll be 3-1 odds."
48 gold.
Yes.
That's all the money I have.
Yes, 3-1 odds. He goes, "Well, I hope you packed your lunch, buddy. There you go."
My love is not fighting, is he?
Not to my knowledge. Is he even there?
No. Turns out if I can't use my sword, not all.
Okay. So do you come up to the waiting room then? Like,
Oh, my manicure.
Yeah, I think we all came.
Okay, well in that case, when my love shows up, I get my 20 gold back for him because he's not fighting, obviously.
Yeah, the guy kind of looks and goes, "Ha! I see that you're a man of great wisdom. I can't say that I like this, but we're a fair establishment. Probably a good way to save your cash."
Well, if he's not fighting, there's no cash saving to be done. Like he's.
He goes, "All right, all
Who
right."
said that?
But no,
Who's the guy that said that as I come up to the table?
I'll take the 20 and put it on the Baroness. That's what I'll do. Actually, so she got 40 on her now from me.
Yeah, he goes, "I wouldn't fight if I was him either. He doesn't look like much of a fighter anyways. Besides, better to chicken out than leave with a mouthful of teeth in your hand. That a smart
you
move."
take that back. I'll fight you.
He goes, I ain't fighting. But if you want to try your luck in the ring, not too late. Should I sign you up?"
I'll stand, but I'll go ahead and push Twig. I'm going to go ahead and step between him and Twig. And
If
I'm going to
he-
go ahead and place a hand gently on Twig's chest. And I'll go ahead and turn to him and I'll say, he's a very young lad. He doesn't know very much about this ring. And I'll pat the guy's shoulders, kind of pat him down like a friend.
Yeah.
Considering my
Apparently so.
ideals,
That's all.
like one of my ideals and my flaws are both competition, I would just go,
No, I'm gonna fight. I'll wrestle or bare knuckle. Anything you
I would just be so
Yes.
animated. Like,
So he grabs
"All
you.
right,
He
Well,
grabs his. So the guy reaches
while
out.
he's-
Yes, go ahead.
I was gonna say, while he's distracted by Twig, and I'm patting him down, I'm gonna go ahead and pick his pocket. Let's get that coin first.
All right.
Not my problem if he can't pay out.
All right.
And I argue that I have advantage because of Twig. Because he's trying to reach out and talk to Twig, and he's ignoring me. I would like to argue that I have advantage.
Sure you
Because
do.
he's ignoring
That's fine.
me, kind of, and reaching
Like
out
the
to
helping
talk to
hand.
Twig and touch Twig. I would like to argue that I have advantage on this sleight of hand. He is super distracted.
Yes, you got it.
Excellent.
Oh well, that's not bad at all.
All right, you do. You acquire his coin purse. He doesn't notice.
All right.
Indeed.
Now I'll turn to Twig. No, Twig. It's important to understand that we all have to play to our strengths. My strength isn't with my fists the way it is for the Baroness. For me, it's the way of the sword and the stage.
No, I gotta admit, I kind of want to watch Twig fight something.
Meanwhile,
They said there
the
was
guy
slime wrestling. I'm
catches.
covered in slime.
Meanwhile, Twig is like, yeah, I'm gonna fight, and the guy reaches out his hand and goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a substitution for our first exhibition match. Old Mad McGurgle will be fighting." He goes, "Psst, hey kid, yeah, you with a death wish. What's your name?"
My name's Firefly.
He goes,
The greatest bargain of all time. Well,
He
thank you,
goes-
Paw Farley.
Old Mad McGurgle will be fighting Jitterbug, and everybody's like, yeah, He's like, "You kid, you go backstage and go prepare yourself." So he pushes you behind, the back in the stage. He goes, "All right, and for our first fight tonight, we have Old Mad McGurgle." And this guy that is standing in the crowd that you have seen kind of steps forward. Let me take him out of here and do a little shuffle here. Oh, sorry.
I give you bardic inspiration with a pat on the back, so that you can take one roll and add
Add a d6 to it.
add a d6 to it. Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
And my sorcery points and subtle spells are ready. And by the way, kudos to you for being the first non-female character to get your hands dirty in this episode.
He goes, "Old Man McGurgle!" And this dude steps up, and you see that he is like, he's seen better days, right? He's got his, where the fuck is he? Where is this dude? Oh, he is right here. Let's make him visible. He have seen better days, right?
Is that a bandage on his head? It looks
Oh,
like
yeah, it most certainly is. For some reason, all of my characters got tiny, so I'll have to very
Yeah,
quickly...
that happened all at once.
Yeah, whatever. It does happen sometimes. Who even knows why? But I
they
can.
have they have medicine for that.
Yes, I make him. I'll make him great again. It's fine. It's
my.
Make
it's,
Old Man Gurgle great again.
Yeah, indeed.
MOGU.
And I'll pass the coin first, Pawpaw.
All right.
I will surreptitiously count it without looking at it.
You will do so, and while you do so, I need you to do this for me, or sleight of hand. I don't even care which.
I'd say sleight of hand makes sense, but
Yeah, sure.
Send me a sleight of hand.
all right. Ding ding. Skills. Ding ding. Sleight of hand. Ding ding.
All
I'm
right.
gonna go over and flirt with Boris.
All right, you do so. Nobody notices. This guy kind of comes in and he stands in one of the things and goes, "Yeah, all right. I'll punch you a new hole in your mouth, place. You scoundrel." And everybody's like, "Boo, shut up, McGurgle." He's like, I may be crippled and half blind and maybe drunk, but I can still fight.
I mean, I almost feel like it'd be a mercy for someone to just. I mean, maybe a heart attack will get him for the fight goes.
Yes.
What are the odds in this again? 20-1 on the old man.
3
I
to
must
1.
warn you, I'm a Spire Scout.
He goes, yeah. And my grandma wears army regulation footwear.
I have a merit badge in punching somewhere.
He goes,
I'll warn you, this boy is not as dumb as he looks or sounds, but he is still kind of dumb.
he goes, well, all right, let's see it, boy. And so Barry and Boris kind of like push you outside, and you awkwardly stumble out, and you make your way into the deal, and you stand in the arena and go. Barry comes out and he goes, now, let us make this fair fight. You exchange punches. First person, 3 successful punch win. First knockout win. Yes?
All
Yes.
right. I
Go
got
for
this.
Oh, bookkeeper.
The bookkeeper goes, yes?
It breaks my heart to do this. 5 gold on the old man.
Oh
I have a
God.
-1 strength. That's a good bet.
He goes, all
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
All right, he goes. And with that, all bets are closed. All bets are closed. Okay. Barry goes, fighters, please shake fists.
How do you shake up? Okay.
I'll very, very like gingerly kind of like shake his fist, and I've never really fought without my bow before, so I'm very nervous, but trying to put
You
on
got
a
a
brave
merit
face.
badge in punching. You can
Like-
do this.
Yeah, I'm like I act very confident, like puff my chest up, but my fireflies are like all like really scared and nervous, and they're like hiding.
Oh,
At least
Barry
you have my deck.
Barry goes,
You can
look,
dodge.
look, Boris, the boy is little scared. And they're like, ha 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 ha, laugh. And they show their little fireflies, which are like laughing at you. They're clearly bogarts, right? Both of them.
I'm not scared of anything.
The fireflies like
Boris
"Yes, we
comes up
are."
and goes, and he leans over and goes, it's okay, my skinny friend. You punch him straight in the throat, he'll choke out. It is one spot that he is truly vulnerable in. I got some money routed on you. I hope you can throat punch.
Oh yeah. Okay. Throat punch.
Oh my
okay.
God. Twig's gonna
Yeah.
fight dirty, and he just told a lie. He is neutral.
All right. And we're going to roll initiative here because that's how we do. So, Twig, if you will.
Yeah, that's just under the movement. Where is initiative? There it is. Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry. Not great.
Okay, Twig gets to throw the first punch.
All right, and so this is just strength because I don't have proficiency, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is not going to go well. 8.
Yay!
Just like swing,
8.
probably half spin around.
Twig
so I
winds.
never really
Okay,
throw a
just
punch.
describe what you're doing.
So like I come out, I try to look good. Like I've seen people fight before, but like I'm all like legs and elbows and stuff, and just really awkward. So I throw the first punch out and kind of like half spin around and just like turn back around and like look like maybe that was what I meant to do.
It's a warning shot. Just make sure you know what you're getting into, buddy.
And you see McGurkle kind of notice and try to duck, but you are faster than him and gummier, and you more like whip slap him like right on top of the head with the side of your thing, and he goes, "Eee!" and
He
the
does
crowd
not
goes,
have a good
"Ah!"
And
and
he
Boris
hits.
goes, first punch goes to Skinny Bogart, Jitterbug, and everybody's like, yay,
I
whatever.
look at my fist shocked that it actually connected.
Yes.
Like,
And right as you
Yeah,
do,
that's really good.
and right as you do, McGurkle throws his punch. All right, Twig, here we go.
yeah, I think my armor
All
class
right.
is 14 because I don't have my armor on, so it just.
All right, that's fine. He turns around and he plants one on
We
you
can
like.
hear you, Gene.
Oh, Gene.
Oh,
yeah, you're
all right.
like-
We're a little too loud. All right, hold on one moment.
Oh, I love this campaign.
All right, this is better. So, right as you're looking at your fist, he comes up and he like launches an uppercut that hits your fist and then you in the face as well, Twig. And there is this rubbery crunch. And McGurkle goes, yeah, that's what we do to people that don't know how to properly fight. Yeah. And everybody's like, boo, shut up, McGurkle, So Barry goes, 1-1. Who will land the second blow? And Twig,
Are
it
we
is your
rolling
turn.
damage for a knockout?
I think it's just first to 3 hits.
Mhm.
Yeah, first to 3.
Correct.
I'm gonna go. This time I'm gonna aim for his throat. I'm gonna try to position myself and try to get him a neck shot.
Oh shit, the Baroness can do it in 1 turn.
Yes, I can.
1 successful strike and then Fury of Blows for
Yeah.
2 more hits.
All right. You throw your punch. He attempts to block it, but your fist, because your hand is very, very gummy, kind of leans over, does this really uncomfortable bend, which looks like it should be more painful to you than it is to him. Gets him straight in the throat. He doubles over and starts wobbling, and the crowd goes wild, and Barry goes, I cannot believe it! The skinny boggart can throw a throat punch! Yeah! And, you know, this is when McGurkle returns the strike. He reaches out and throws his punch at you. But,
You gonna miss?
but, you are too fast for him, and as he does, you step to the side and he whips and almost doubles over. The crowd is sitting there at the edge of the seat. It is your final turn.
I can beat up an old man.
Oh no.
No. Oh, yeah, you can.
I'm rolling so bad, but it's
All right. As he doubles over, you come up and just bonk him on top of the head. He makes an awkward sound, falls down. You kind of almost curb stomp him to the ground. You hear this uncomfortable crunch, and he goes completely limp on the floor. And everybody just erupts and screams. And the guy goes, ladies and gentlemen, we have the first winner of the night. The skinny boggart, Stink Bug! And everybody's like...
I thought it was Jitterbug.
I imagine the fight was like, because it was rolling 8s and stuff, it's just like the most pathetic sort of slap fight that just somehow ended.
Yeah.
So they
even
come
finish
up-
the
Basically
fight.
watching 2 hobos fight.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's so terrible.
They come up and peel
Murder
McGurkle
hobos,
from
that
the
is.
ground, like sweep
Hey.
some teeth off, and you come up, and Boris come up with a towel and like a glass of water. He's like, here, boy, you earned it.
Hey,
And everybody-
thanks for the advice on the throat punch. It really worked wonders.
Yes. He goes, all right. He goes, and now, the battle that you've been waiting for. Matilda Shebington Smythe, the heroine Harris, will have to take a break today while we see the fight between the mysterious, not masked Baroness. And you come up, whatever. What do you do, Baroness? How do you enter?
I come into the ring, and I look around at everyone, and I take a bow to everyone.
Yes. And everybody's like, kind of looks at you. They don't know what to think of you because you're a mature woman, and you look like you've punched your fair amount of throats, but still, like, you're new. They don't know what to think of you. And he goes,
They don't.
and last, but most certainly not least, Dwayne, the actual rock golem, Johnson. And this guy comes up.
Yay!
He jumps somewhere from above. You don't really necessarily see him, and he lands. He pirouettes gently, just so that he wouldn't even though that he is made of actual rock, he like springs off one of the unsuspected spectators' back, makes a triple flip, and lands with a loud thump right in front of you.
You're
On the
literally
ground.
fighting the rock.
And
I
he is
am
like,
literally fighting the rock.
He looks like Handsome Jack.
He does.
Remember, hit him in his vulnerable part.
yes, and
All men
mean
have the
the-
same vulnerable part.
I would say hit the
Yes.
back of his ankle. He was
And
talking
he-
about his Achilles
and he
heel.
lands right in front of you, and he comes up, and there he is, and he kind of extends his massive hand towards you. He shakes it, and he goes, my dear, can you taste what the rock is smelling? And everybody's like, yeah. Everybody's like, and he does this little, poses and like, look at my beach ball. It's big and round like the sun. And like every time he flexes, he chips a little bit because he's an actual rock golem, And he stands there, and they're like, okay, now make this a clean fight and try not to die. And the Boris goes, I would like for you to fight fair. That is to say, punch him even though that he's made of basalt. Ha ha, little rock joke for you. All right, so 3 punches. The best one wins. And fight. And everybody rolls initiative. Baroness, please do so. I will help because that is what I do for you because I care. Where are you? You are here, Baroness. You are going to roll. Where is my initiative? Jesus Christ, hold on. Initiative is right here. Request roll. Here we go. You roll. He'll roll.
Oh, it's pitiful.
We'll all roll for initiative.
I need
All
all
right.
the help I can get right here.
Indeed.
Everybody.
Indeed.
So,
And
the Shawl of Support says it can add to the abilities modifier.
Mhm.
Is that initiative too? So it could add +1 to initiative?
yes, it can. But even with +1 to initiative, she's not going to beat his.
Yeah.
So she does go second, though. That's fine. Right around that, the Dwayne, the actual raw golem Johnson, he kind of looks at you and he winks. He stands back and with incredible speed, he lunges and throws his punch at you, Baroness.
Now I should be able to dodge him.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Where do I find this? In actions?
Yes. Who wants to volunteer to help the Baroness?
I will, if you let me see your character sheet.
Terrific. Since you're there, you can act as her coach. We will even place you there so you can, like, sort of scream at her from the corner, you know?
That would
I'm
be wonderful.
Just standing next to Boris, I'm on his arm, and I'm just screaming at the Baroness supportive tips.
Mm-hmm.
Cut me, Rain. Cut me.
All right. So he's gonna throw
Pulls
his
out
punch at
dagger.
you, Baroness. It's coming straight at you, and it's beautiful, and it's graceful, and it smells of moss. And it's coming at you. Are you doing anything special to dodge it? Have
I
you
don't-
anything? All right.
I don't know.
All right, Rain.
I think I
any
have
advice?
a dodge. I've got it, but I don't know where it is.
I still can't see her sheet.
Okay, the action dodge, for what it's worth, takes up your attack. It gives
Yeah.
them disadvantage to hit you, but it means that you won't be able to attack them.
That
This
is
true,
correct.
but I think she can burn a key point to do something as a reaction, can't she?
Key
Reaction.
point.
Or am I thinking of something else?
I can deflect missiles. Actions in combat.
Flurry of blows. Immediately after you take your attack or action in your turn, you can spend 1 key point to make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action. 2. Patient defense. You can spend 1 key point to take a dodge action as a bonus action on your turn. 3.
Okay,
Gotcha.
Step of the
That's what
wind.
I'm
You can
thinking.
spend 1 key point to take a disengage or dash action as a bonus action on your turn, and your jump distance is doubled for the turn. Now, mind you, there is absolutely, though you probably can't leave the ring, you don't know if you can or you can't, or whether that will be considered a ring out, but you can certainly move around. I mean, it's a small ring, but nonetheless.
Right. I would like to dodge.
All right, you use 1 of your key points. Please mark that off of your character
It's
sheet.
marked. Yep.
Yeah, but it's
Excellent.
a bonus action, not a reaction.
Okay, hang on.
Right.
I can deflect. Nope, that's it. I don't have. So I can't react to him.
You,
If burning a key point to do a dodge, you are react.
yes.
No,
Let
if
me-
you want to use a dodge, you use it on your turn to dodge the next attack.
Exactly.
It's
Bonus
you haven't
action.
You haven't
not
taken
a
your turn
reaction.
yet.
Disadvantage
So
on
you
his
cannot
attack.
dodge him this turn. You can dodge him next turn.
When you
Okay,
take the
Shoot.
dodge action, you focus entirely on avoiding attacks. Until the start of your next turn, any attack roll made against you has disadvantage.
You
If
can
it
make a punch, and then you can use your bonus action to take the
Okay.
dodge action.
Precisely
okay.
that. Yes.
All right, got it. Okay, so I'm at a complete disadvantage, and his hit is going to hit me.
Yes, and not only does
I
it
was
hit
going
you,
to take a moment.
Well,
I
what's
was
your
going-
AC?
What's an AC?
Your
armor
armor
class.
class.
It doesn't
I
matter.
have-
This is calculated automatically by the rolls that we're making.
I
And
was going to take a moment, Gene,
Yes, sir.
since I have cutting word.
All right. You'd like to
shout
cut in,
out
is what
to
you're
him.
saying.
You must be a rock. You're so slow and dense. I can't believe you even fight for a living.
Indeed.
Oh my!
It's a pretty good one.
hmm
Nice.
And that's a that's what is it? He takes a subtract the number I roll. Okay, Bardic
Yeah.
Inspiration.
So take a D4.
D4.
Hey, it's a 4.
I'll take it. Minus 40.
All right.
Minus
No wait, I get to roll a D6 because of reasons.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Although it probably won't be higher than a 4. Nope, I guess I'll take the 4.
Take the 4.
All right. So you scream at the Rock, the actual Rock Golem Johnson, and you notice that he kind of like cocks his head and looks at you while he throws the punch that throws him off just a little bit, but not enough. And his punch connects with the Baroness's shoulder, and it spins her around. The punch is so immense that the bruise almost immediately appears, and Baroness suffers serious damage. Baroness, prepare to receive. Well, you know,
This guy has got to be another monk.
7 points of damage to Baroness.
All right.
Yeah, he's a monk.
Damn.
You manage
Alright.
to stand your
No, he
ground
could
and you
just have,
grit
like,
your
a plus
teeth and
5
you
or
kind of bear it, but you don't scream out. But he hits like a ton of bricks, and now it is your opportunity to strike. Do you use your dodge action?
I don't. I want to strike him. I have an unarmed
Your dodge
strike
action
and-
is a bonus action.
I don't understand.
So
Okay.
Okay.
make your attack. At the end of your attack, then as a bonus action, burn a key point and use dodge.
What that
Which
will
one?
do,
Attacking.
it will permit
Start by
you,
attacking.
it will permit you to attack, but also put him at a disadvantage in the next hit.
Yep.
All right. So I do. I can do an unarmed. I can do a strike.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Make sure
Roll a
that you
d20
use.
to hit.
No, don't do that.
I'm sorry. I
Go
can't
to,
hear.
go to actions.
All
Oh,
right.
that's right.
Do you see punishing punch?
I do.
Do you see
That's-
the black die plus D3? Drag that onto either the miniature of Dwayne the Rock Golem Johnson or onto his entry into the combat tracker.
Yeah.
All right. You describe your punch to me. Do it.
So even though I've been wounded, he wounded me on my dominant arm, and being that I have a very strong right cross, I put the place where he's wounded me, that is in the front, and I put my entire weight behind the force of the punch that lands right in his solar plexus.
Excellent. You strike him with the solar plexus and he steps into it and he smiles, expecting it to be just, nothing. A tap on the shoulder, but the punch, the strength of your blow literally ignites the air around it. There is a big pulse of light, and as you strike his basalt skin, and it cracks and shudders, and one of his decorative bumps on his bicep kind of drops down and cracks, and he kind of looks at you in disbelief and goes, "Oh." And you can tell that he is both impressed and seriously hurt. Roll damage.
Okay. I get to roll damage,
Yes.
and so
you get
that is this
1d4 plus 1 bludgeoning, and you drag it onto him or onto his entry into the character sheet. Excellent.
the right one. Okay.
Yes,
jolly
that
good.
is perfect.
But now this was a flurry of blows. Technically,
No,
she
this
just
was-
hit him 3 times.
If
No.
she expends a key point, she can turn it into a flurry of blows, and
I
then she
can.
can expend another key point and dodge. There is no limit on how many key points you can expend in one
Oh.
round.
Indeed.
Just spend for the flurry of blows because then the fight's over. No need to dodge.
That's right, exactly. So stand by. I want to make sure, because there's another thing I can make sure that because of my skill as a monk, I can knock him back.
That's right. You can knock him prone.
I can knock him out, but I have to do flurry of blows, so I'm going to do that. So I'm going to burn a key
Remember, you
point.
still have to roll for each one of the 2 consequent punches.
That's
and
right.
you have to expend the key point. Perfect, you did
There's
just
the key
that.
point. Okay, and so how do I throw the flurry of blows? Is it the same
2
way?
more. 2 more.
All right.
Roll
We got-
1. If it connects, roll damage.
Oh.
All right. Your second blow, he anticipates and just moves slightly out of the way, and it doesn't find its mark. What about the third blow?
We're going to do it right now. Here we go.
Nat 20.
Almost.
That's close. Oh, more than 20.
All right, roll damage.
All right, damage. Here we go.
Outstanding. Describe your second attack.
All right, so he dodges the first punch of this flurry of blows, and moves right into the perfect spot where I can really unleash with my left hand. Because even though he's wounded my shoulder, he hasn't wounded my back, and so I throw my entire back into this punch, which he is completely not expecting.
Yes, and you get him straight in the chin, and you lift him up from the ground, something that he have never experienced before, and as he staggers back, the crowd roars, and Boris from the side screams, 2 strikes for Baroness! And the crowd goes...
Sweet.
Okay. So I can do a bonus action. I
You can
believe.
spend another key point.
I can spend another key point. Can I spend another key point on flurry of blows for crying out loud?
You
No,
just did.
no, you just did. But you can spend
Okay.
one on dodge if you like, and put him at a
All right.
disadvantage for the next hit.
All right, then I'll do that.
And he's also prone, so he has to use all of his movement to get back up.
All right, so I shall dodge.
Getting back up does not take a full movement.
Oh,
Let
Okay,
me
now
double
wait a
check on
minute.
that.
So there is a in the way of the hand or whatever it is.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Stand by. It's the open hand technique. Let me open this. When you hit a creature with one of the attacks granted by your flurry of blows, you can impose one of the following effects on that target. It must succeed on a dexterity throw. It must make a strength saving throw, and if it fails, you can push it up to 15 feet away from you, and I would like that.
You would like to push him 15 feet away from you?
Yeah. Don't you think?
Terrific.
Or is it? It
That's
can't
out of the
take-
ring.
It
Yeah.
can't take
Yes, it would be.
reaction from the- All right. Yes, please.
All right.
So it's-
And with the... I'm sorry, what?
So it's a strength saving throw against her wisdom.
Yes. I'm well aware of that. So let me see, what is your wisdom?
15.
15. I don't think that's exactly how it works, but let me double check.
Well, no, that's a +2 +8 plus proficiency.
So it's 2 plus 8 plus proficiency. She's proficient, so it's 12.
12.
And it's a strength save, so he has to do his...
He should have a pretty good bonus.
Strength. Yes.
Roll poorly, large man.
Roll a natural 1, you large fucker.
Alas. Wait a
What is
moment. Wait a moment. So it's 12 for her.
Yeah.
What happens in
He
an
has
event?
to beat a 12.
He has to beat a 12. He does not, and he is pushed back 15 feet by his weight. He pushes himself through the crowd and falls prone towards the very far wall, and the crowd goes wild. There is a big roar, and everybody screams. And you know, everybody's like, and everybody just goes completely and utterly nuts. While you celebrate, suddenly you hear the announcer, the guy who is also a bookkeeper from the crowd, goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, the victor, the unmasked Baroness!" Everybody's like, "Yeah!" He goes, he put his hand towards his ear and goes, "What? We have an unexpected challenge. Matilda Shabington Smythe, the Heroine Harris, challenges the new champion for double or nothing fight. Will the champion accept?"
Fellows, what
You got this. Yeah.
You got this!
All right, let's do it.
Shawl of support out. You got.
Yeah,
All
whatever.
right, so
I'll
everybody's
do it.
saying yes, and I say yes.
He goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the unexpected challenger for the unexpected third definitive final and hair-raising, nail-biting round of our competition, Matilda Shabington Smythe!" And this lady steps out, and she is diminutive and proper, and she's got a pen and a quill, and she looks like she just stepped from behind of a counter where she was making some kind of accounting notes.
I'm scared of her.
It's
Lady
basically
versus lady.
it's basically the Baroness.
It is, except I'm dressed a little more shabbily than she.
And she looks like a halfling.
And she is. And she comes to like maybe your waist. But by the way she carries herself, she looks about 15 feet tall.
Yes, she
And
does.
And she comes up, and she's got a big chain around her belt, and she unbuckles her chain, and she very properly and promptly removes the skirt, so she is left in very athletic-looking lady bloomers, and she gently puts it to the side, and she does the most elaborate courtesy, and everybody's just stunned.
And I bow back to her.
Indeed. Let me place her on the ground here. That would not be a very good representation because no, she needs to be here. And yes, that. And
Where are you getting all these sketches?
Aren't they the greatest?
if I tell you.
Cool.
Indeed. Matilda Shabbington Smythe, or Stabbington Smythe, as the case may be. She turns around. She's a little bigger than that, but not that big. And there she is. She comes up to you. She looks extremely proper. And then, right after she bows, even though she's still holding on to her parchment and a quill, she does like a little elaborate stance, and you immediately recognize the school, and you know exactly that she is in fact a monk, and she is flawless. She doesn't even blink, she doesn't remove her glasses, she doesn't do anything, and not a hair on her head moves. But you can hear her muscles flex, and you can hear her tendons snap, and it's like this sound, you know, like just like as if somebody have taken a cloth and snapped it up in the air. It's like flop, you know, and everybody goes quiet, right? And she extends her hand, looks at you, barely smiles, and does one of these.
Baroness!
Indeed. And everybody rolls in, and then the bookie goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, you have but mere 5 seconds to make your bets."
Hey, all my money I just won, back on the Baroness. That's 120 gold.
He goes, "The odds are 10 to 1.
Oh, hell yeah. All that money right on Baroness. 10 to 1. I'll take it.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, with the 40 I already had, it's 160. I want 1,600 gold when this is done.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to put a good 50 on the Baroness, too.
All right. Please make notes of that. I trust you and I believe you, but I want to know how much money you're carrying, okay?
Right.
Gotcha.
And also, while this happened, I shout out to the Baroness, "Hey, Baroness,
Yes.
fuck her up!" And you get bardic inspiration from that. So at any point, you can add 1d6 to a roll.
Any-
healer.
One
Any-
time,
Okay.
you can add 1d6 to either not to initiative, but to attack rolls, to damage
Okay.
rolls, or to saving throws.
Did we healer?
Can you heal me?
That's a fair question. Am I allowed to before the fight starts?
It's a new fight, isn't it?
Barry goes, "I will allow it."
All right. Then I
guess
will
we do that
cast
too.
Healing Word as a second
Shane's going
level
to
spell.
blow a kiss to Barry and say, "Thank you, dear."
So I'll cast Healing Word as a second level spell because I don't have any first level slots available.
Thank you.
So you get 2d4 plus what's my skill? Plus 6.
Don't you have Cure Wounds, Twig?
I do. If you need more, like I can
No.
do.
2d4
extra
plus
D-
6 should do.
Twig, are you using your shawl?
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Oh, yeah, because Baroness only took 7 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super fun.
So no matter what, she's healed up.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm healed up. That's grand. That here. Can you give me my hit points back, or does it matter?
You just take off the wounded.
Okay.
Yes,
I'm good.
I can I can do that for you.
I just did it.
Oh, you just did it? Let me make
Yeah.
sure that your HP is what?
27, I think.
Your full is 27 and you're fully healed?
It looks like it.
All right, very well. Now it is. And so, initiative is rolled.
All right. Roll away. Do I just grab a die?
I will help.
All right, here we go. Oh, not bad.
All right, the Baroness gets to go first.
Jolly good. So we will do the punishing punch. Here goes. Oh, it's just a suck fest.
Indeed.
Uh-oh.
You
Can I
feel-
add the d6 to this, or is it the damage I
You
add?
could
the dam-
add it
Yes.
to this if you wish.
D6,
Okay,
your
I
bardic
think-
inspiration.
I should like to use my bardic inspiration. I'm going to do that here.
Oh, that's a 15.
That's a 15. You describe your attack.
I am going to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to feint to the left and watch her get ready for a shift. She shifts very slightly on her toes.
Indeed.
And I move slightly to the left, and she moves to the left, and then I turn my entire body and I punch her in the ribs with my right hand.
Indeed, she tries to block, but it is too low, and you connect with your ribs, and there's a satisfying crunch. Roll damage.
Okay. And damage is 4-sided.
Yes.
A D4.
Did I do that in the wrong place?
It's a D4 plus 1, so that's a 3.
Well, first of all, you need to roll the damage from your punch. So you need to drag that 1d4 plus 1 onto her entry into the combat tracker or on her.
Stand by. Here we are. Sorry, there we are.
Outstanding.
Hey, same thing.
Yes,
There
it
it is.
connects, and she doesn't even flinch because she flexes, but nonetheless, she receives the full brunt of your attack, and you see her grit her teeth and smile through it, and she goes, "Well, well," and then she turns around, and
Wait,
As
do
she-
you want to do flurry of blows before you do anything else?
I wonder if I
you have the key points for it.
I do. I don't know what I have no idea how many points she has. I'm just looking to connect. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes, you just have to
Okay,
touch
good. So then we're going to do that. We're going to do flurry of blows.
You've got to get her out
Point
fast.
left.
She
All
will
right.
mess you up.
Okay, so I'm going to do another hit here.
Nat 20, that's a crit.
I think that one works.
All right.
So as she smiles at me, I go ahead and just jab.
Not goddamn.
It's a jab, seriously, and I'm going to hit her in the jaw.
And
Knock
you
her
do.
prone. Knock her prone.
Knock her prone! Knock her prone! Let's try this. Here we go.
What is our damage for crit? You get to roll twice.
All right. So I think I did. I put
Yeah,
I get to
it
do
calculated for you. So you got 4 points of damage straight into her. Are you going to knock her prone?
I get another punch.
Oh
Yes,
yes.
you do.
Yes you do.
Hold on. Prone creatures get advantage. Hold on. I'm looking this up real quick. If you
Prone-
hit a prone creature, you might get advantage on it.
You melee if
Yes,
creature's
you have an
prone, you get
advantage against-
on melee, disadvantage on ranged attacks.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, I don't know what
absolutely.
that means. It means if I knocked her prone, she'd have advantage on the next try.
No.
you
No,
would
it
have
means
advantage.
you have advantage on
You have
your
advantage.
third and final hit, so you get to
Yep.
roll twice to hit her.
Yep.
So knock her prone and then punch
then-
again.
Okay,
Yeah.
stand by. I don't know how to do that. Is it another key point? No.
You
it's
just
now
tell me.
flurry of blows.
Just tell Jean you've done it.
Just
I've
tell
done
me-
it. I've knocked her
okay.
prone.
Well, not quite. I still get to save for her, but if she fails the save, then you will knock her prone. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Speed of 12.
So beat a 12, and I can't, and she goes down. She falls to about here, and she's now prone.
And now Baroness gets advantage on her third and final punch.
Yes,
stand
indeed.
by.
I
Let me
will.
grab this. This is skill. No, this is nope. This is
Oh,
action.
thank
I checked in the
Alright.
advantage.
All right, so we are doing this last punch, and I'm throwing it right now. I'm sorry, I don't know how to do advantage. How do I do that?
Just roll it
Just
twice.
roll 20 again.
Roll again.
Okay, so do I click advantage?
No,
not
No,
now.
no, no. Just
Just,
roll
yeah,
again,
roll.
dear.
Okay, stand by.
Ordinarily you would, but in this case you just.
And you get a +1 on that too from the shawl.
Yeah.
Yes, except the first time she rolled a natural 1, which here means an automatic miss, and really doesn't matter from that point
Well,
on.
No,
Well, if
but
you have
you
advantage,
have
you
advantage.
you take
roll
the higher of the
twice.
two.
Yeah, it ignores the other roll.
You ignore the one.
Yep.
Okay, fine. Yes. All right. The third punch connects.
I want my 1,600 gold.
Describe
pieces
it.
too.
Okay, so as she, do I hit her when she's down? That seems so unfair.
Well,
You
Okay,
it's
so
a 1-2 punch. It's not so much that you waited for her to fall down and do it. It's just
Alright.
this whole move.
all right. So in following her as I knocked her down, I step forward into a lunge,
Mm-hmm.
and I give her one gigantic full-blown punch with my right arm right in her solar plexus.
And you do so. And she looks at you and gasps, and her eyes get wide, and then she goes completely limp on the ground. The crowd goes wild. There's screaming. There's all sorts of things. And the announcer goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the extremely secret, nobody knows about it Fight Club is the very unmasked Baroness!
Huzzah.
Thank you, everyone. Bowing and bowing some more.
Yes, yes.
And bowing to my friends.
500 That's 500 gold for me and 1,600 for Papa.
Yes,
Wait,
indeed.
Did I place a bet, or did Captain Malove steal my coin purse and I didn't place the bet?
Oh no, that
No,
wasn't
he-
your coin purse. It
Oh,
was the
you
other guy.
stole
Yes.
his coin purse. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So-
no, I would never steal from
Yeah.
the twig.
Well, I
Let me
mean,
see how
you're trying to
long
stop me from making a bad bet or something.
So
No,
couple
no, it was
couple
because
of
I was
people get
irritated with it.
couple of people get really excited, but then they realize that they bet on the wrong person, and basically nobody have bet on the Baroness. They start coming. They start shuffling out of the thing. Let me clear off our combat tracker just for the good housekeeping. Remove that. And they start shuffling out, and you come back to square your accounts with the booking.
Golly, Mr. Bookkeeper, it's ever so exciting to gamble when you win.
He goes, all right, don't get too excited. I suppose it's time for me to pay up. And he reaches inside, and then he goes, wait a moment.
Well, now, give me a second, because I counted the coins right by touch. So, what was the inventory in his purse?
Did you though?
I did. That's the whole thing.
Yeah,
When
you
when
did.
Malone handed it to me, I said I was going to count the coins.
Yes, he said I'm going to count them without looking at them.
Oh, that, I totally missed that. Let me retroactively do this, because this is not simple, even for somebody who is experienced at that. So let's see how accurate
Well, you
you
already had me roll sleight of hand for, I thought that.
Oh, did you?
I
Yeah.
rolled a 25.
Oh, okay. So you couldn't count the exact amount of money. That would take a little longer time and, magic.
Yes.
But you definitely know that there was enough there to cover your bets and everything like that, for sure.
Okay. So, do I do this? I feel like I do. As he's saying, wait a minute.
Yeah. He goes, wait a minute, where's my... And then you do something, obviously, yeah?
Right. So I'm going to plant the purse back on him.
Sleight of hand.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, because what I want to do is, this is a big win. I'd rather get the win than keep the money.
Now,
I-
he's clearly on alert, so he's gonna oppose your sleight of hand. He's gonna be looking
So-
for it, so he's gonna roll perception real quick.
Hang on. When Pawpaw goes to do that,
Mhm.
I'm gonna play the bump man to give him advantage.
Hey, there you
Indeed,
go.
you do so. He's at a disadvantage in his roll, and he absolutely does not notice. You totally pull it off.
Hey, isn't that right there in the other pocket? That looks like your purse right there.
He goes, oh, well, silly me. I must have placed it there in the excitement. And he kind of squints and looks at you, goes, huh.
But I mean, he's going to count and find all his money there. How upset can
Yes,
he
and
be?
he opens it up and he goes, he goes, huh, it's all there. How odd.
Why would
Well,
that be strange?
Mr. Boggart, time to square up. Your receipts, please.
All right, there's my receipt for the first bet, my receipt for the second bet. And this lovely young lady here also placed a bet for 50.
Yes, I did.
Yep. He goes,
Time for 40 get lost.
yes. So he goes,
Oh,
Better know how-
I did lose 5 gold on old man what's his nuts though.
yeah.
So it's 1,595 gold, I suppose, is all. I'm
Yeah.
total.
He looks at his money and he goes, well, I have enough to cover your bet, but the young lady, and he kind of motions to Barry and Boris, and they come up to the corner to discuss. He goes, hold on a second, hold on. They go into the corner and start talking in hushed voices with lots of Russian accents, right? And after a while, he comes back and goes, we have a bit of a problem. See, we didn't expect you to win. And
Well, that
as
sounds like
such,
that's your problem.
this is a big take, and we'd like to respect our losses, but I don't suppose you'd want to double or nothing maybe on the next round in 2 weeks.
Don't
Oh,
you have a
yeah,
lot
I'll
of
take it.
magical items that are worth a lot of money in your shop?
Hold on.
if y'all
I'm a
can't
spellcaster. Nothing they have will benefit me.
Now, what you're saying is, you don't have money to cover your table stakes tonight, and you expect me to believe you'll have money to cover double this in 2 weeks.
Well, we are in the business of making money here at Brothers in Arms. We do sell merchandise, see?
And if you're in the business of making money, surely you should be able to have enough money.
Boris steps up and goes, please excuse. Yes, my good Bogart. My puny Bogart friend.
Yeah?
I may perhaps make proposition for you.
Better be a good one.
Goes, instead of money, I give merchandise.
I mean, maybe some, but you're inconveniencing. Gold's quite portable. A giant honking sword or something, that's a bit painful to carry around.
He goes,
It's less fungible. I have to find somebody who wants to buy it. How about this? You pay this charming young lady here. What's your name, sweetheart?
Rain, good sir.
There you go. You pay this charming young lady her stake. And now I am helping you save face. You don't want a reputation for not being able to pay your bills getting up in front of you. So what I will do is I will take my 1,000, you give her 500, and you will give me 1,000 in the store credit. That's persuasion.
All right, sure.
Now, don't I get anything for winning? Is there no purse?
Yeah, right?
I mean, I'm just
a
wondering.
whole discussion about that, but
Oh yeah, that's
What's
a whole
that?
other deal.
oh, that's not a great roll. No, probably don't make that happen.
He goes, my dear Bogart, I understand that, what was your name again?
Well, I mean, I'm only Pawpaw Farley. You probably heard of me. Don't worry, I'll sign your name later.
He goes,
But-
oh, no. Master Farley, I'll be honest with you. Let's just be square. I can owe you the sum, but I certainly can't double it. That would be
I didn't say double.
unreasonable.
500 on top.
That's a lot of money.
Yes,
Yes.
but he's helping you save your reputation, dear.
I can cover it next week if you pop in, but, doubling that amount is just frankly something that we cannot do without a great deal of detriment to ourselves.
Oh, all right, how about this? I'll make you a deal then. Don't double it. Just pay me an extra 500 in store credit.
He goes 300, and it's done.
What
I'll
would
take
you
that.
do? Now, hang on a moment. What would you do precisely? What are the consequences if he'd lost and he didn't have the money? Would you allow him a week to square up with you at no interest at all?
Well, he's paying
Yes.
me some interest.
He goes, well, we're not exactly a mob, good sir. Now, if you were dealing with the Soggy Bottom Boys, that'd probably introduce you to their friend Peter, who likes, kneecaps. But we would probably have him write an IOU and then collect within the week. I do not think that we would incur any amount of levy on him. For his good word, him being the defamed and fabled Papa Farley, after all.
Now, I'm willing to make you that deal. How about this? You pay this young lady because she's of a more sorcerer's type. I can see she's not a weapon carrying type.
He
You pay
goes,
her
done,
50
and he
square,
hands you Ray in a purse of 500 gold. You can, write that down and whatnot.
and then,
Okay, if we're talking in character, please use the term wizard because sorcerers are looked at as criminals.
Oh, true. Yeah. He wouldn't have said sorcerer. He's smarter than that. Magic type, he would have said, I guess.
Yep.
And then now you owe me 1,595 gold plus an extra 300, takes me up to 1,800, so 1,900. I'll take half of it in store credit, and I'll take half of it in cash right now.
He goes, pleasure doing business with you, sir, and thank you very much for understanding. It is our pleasure to extend this to you and, enjoy.
Fair enough. So that's there's 1,900. So that's this is 500, 950 in gold, and then 950 in credit.
Yep, write that down. I'm going to
Yep.
temporarily put us on BRB here as you guys discuss what you want to get. I will throw you out the inventory to look at as well.
Stand by. I should I'm standing near Twig because I'd like for him to heal my wounds, please.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah.
And there is still the matter
couple-
of
And I wonder, doesn't the victor win anything? I mean, I'm just
there is a battle
curious.
purse.
Yeah. And I placed 48 gold on the Baroness. Was that 3-1 odds?
Yes, you did. You took your entire. You had
Yes.
everything in your
No, I thought
pocket.
you put it on my love. You put it on the Baroness. You put it on the
on the Baroness. Yeah.
Yes.
And it was
Yeah.
just the against the rocks. So
Yeah,
I think that was-
considering that Papa Farley have, only taking half in cash, they'll pay you out.
Okay, so it was 144. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Papa's such a nice man. He let you all take your money out. Look at that.
That's
Yes.
very
Now-
nice.
And
all you charming
and Barry
young people-
goes, and to the great winner of tonight's contest, I present you with this magnificent exotic chain clubs.
Oh, nunchucks.
The nunchucks.
Oh, it's what I wanted. Oh, how
That's
very
awesome.
nice. Yes,
So he gives you that.
that's
And,
wonderful.
You get 10 HP back from the cure wounds.
Thank you.
So she's back at full.
How did she get another wound? She decked the lady on the very first moment.
Yeah, the lady struck
amazing.
first.
Sure.
So we'll put that in your belt.
I
Now
feel
you
it
have
very
your
nice.
now you have your chain clubs.
Okay.
There they is. And he goes, well, I suppose you would want to browse a little, so we'll open late for you as private client because we fucked up with money.
Well, I appreciate your grasp of reality of the situation.
We
now
cleaned up.
I am generally more of a lover than a fighter. But if any of you wonderful folks are looking for something that'll help you be more of a fighter than a lover, if there's something you had your eye on, let me know. I might be disposed to help you out.
Here's the inventory. They'll let you browse and explain and also
Gotcha.
tell you about the monetary value, with the exception, of course, of chain clubs, which they will never tell you how much it is, so don't even pretend that you're going to protest about it.
Right.
Um,
I mean, I could buy one of everything. and
So
have
you
money.
think about that as I visit the little dungeon master's room. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Well,
I honestly, I kind of want to recommend the troll bow to Firefly.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, it's like so it's a heavy crossbow, so it's got like loading.
That's true. That's true.
But
But
the
you could use it for the first shot in a combat, and then
true, yeah, no, that's true. It's super sweet for sure.
Uh-huh.
Although
I
the
can
feather, the
literally
feather
buy-
blade is really cool too, though, because it's a light weapon. It's like a finesse weapon, and it's a longsword. I don't know. It's pretty badass too. But
That's also true because it has the longsword damage, but
it's
the
basically a
light
short sword.
capability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might actually want that because I
Yeah,
have.
it'd be good for anybody. Like, yeah, because it would swap out for your rapier, but it's like
I don't use a rapier. I use a dagger. But
Oh,
Hopefully they let me keep this wand at this duel I'm going to.
like, I can literally buy one of everything and have credit left over. 5,
Well,
6,
That's
7.
point of order. Second set of chain clubs for the Baroness would allow her to dual wield them for the
oh yeah,
second.
like Michelangelo.
Dual wielding nunchucks.
That would be so.
No, it's
sweet.
literally on the card. It's on the card.
Dual wield means what 2 weapons, 1 on each hand, with the following identical properties: 1d6 bludgeoning damage, finesse light. Oh, you can dual wield them.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Literally on the card.
Yeah.
No, I think you can dual wield one nunchuck, not dual wield.
No,
two.
no. You
No,
can
you-
either use one hand for a
Like
D6,
Michelangelo.
or you can use one pair in each hand for a D6 each.
Okay, it won't let me open the card, so I can't see
Yeah,
it.
you can either use it as a heavy whip or as dual wielded clubs.
Oh my
Oh
stuff.
no, dual wielded
dual-wielded
clubs.
You can't use
Meaning
two.
you put one nunchuck in either
Yeah.
hand and you
Yes.
smack
Oh.
as clubs.
That makes more sense.
Yes, because these are essentially 2 clubs strewn together like a chain.
I already closed the window and it won't let me reopen it.
Yeah, I
That
can't
makes-
reopen mine
Yes.
either.
The item card. Oh boy.
It's fine.
Yeah. If you guys go into items, actually, you should be able to look it up.
I'm back. All right. What are you interested in? What can't you do it?
Well, so I had noticed I could literally buy one of everything and have credit left.
Yes, except they don't have chain clubs anymore because they had one. The one.
Oh, fair enough.
They don't have the shawl of support because they sold it. They don't have the leash knife because they sold it.
So I could buy a shield, a feather blade, and a troll bow.
Yes.
But nobody in this company
You
uses
can
a shield.
you can also buy literally anything from the regular equipment rack.
Right, but if I want something a regular equipment rack, I already have it.
Indeed, indeed. I'm just
so-
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Turtle shield, no one cares about, right? Because none of us does defense.
No.
Yeah. Could
Okay.
you buy like a share of stock of the shop itself and get profits, like weekly profits from it? Like exchange some of your gold pieces for like 1% of their profits every week or something like that? Like,
I mean, that sounds like something that someone who really has a better mind for business than Popeye does to do.
I'll
Yeah, I
pop
have
out
to
the
go-
cards for you if you need them.
Rain will promptly leave the shop because I have to go talk to an old drow woman about a pair of shoes
ooh, okay.
because I haven't forgotten those.
Yeah. Hang on. Okay, so here's the thing. As much as I don't like fighting, I am a better finesse fighter than I am a strength fighter.
Yeah.
I think I want the feather blade.
Yeah, it's a good.
Because my love already has a fancy pants sword. He doesn't need two. He can kiss off.
Here now, I gave him that sword. Don't talk about it like that.
And then I could give the troll bow to Twig.
Well, I can't. It uses
I like
strength.
the sword.
It's like a strength-based bow. So like,
Which
I
none of
wouldn't
us-
waste the money. I would just,
Yeah, but okay. I mean, so the thing is, if I do that, I've got 450 gold, 47 gold
Yeah,
left
it's
in.
kind of literally impossible for
Right.
Twig to get a DC 20 because even if you rolls a natural 20, it's still -1.
I got a -1. Yeah, so.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So then at that point, like, I'll take the feather blade. I'll have 447 left in store credit. And I guess I'm going to need an IOU from them because they don't have anything I want enough.
That's
to take
fair.
anything else.
That is fair.
Could you hire one like Boris to be like one of our bodyguards and like he could come
Yeah.
with us on an adventure and fight for us?
Well, yeah, but to be fair, the feather blade is 500 gold, so I think that
Yeah.
actually takes care of your in-store credit.
Oh,
No,
that's-
I have 950.
He's got 900. He took half
Mm.
of his winnings.
That's right, but he also gave 500 to me.
No, you got
No.
500 from
Yes.
Boris and Boris.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
So
you
I
got
got my 500, so they have
Yes.
1,600, and they only gave you half, so you took 8.
No, it was more than 1,600. He
Oh, no,
took
it was...
a bonus.
Basically,
And
Rain,
that's
you
fine.
have your winnings. That's all you really have to worry about.
Okay.
Papa knows precisely how much money he has in which area. So far, he's been spot on.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
In
Really good.
Brothers
And
in
I,
Arms.
and I have a toy for winning.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Well,
Now,
it's not a bad thing. It's a versatile set of clubs. It's a staff
very
that you
nice.
can
Yeah.
hide.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Super cool.
It's a staff you can sneak in your pants. You know, I mean, it's pretty good.
I mean, I've
Yeah,
got
it is.
staff I can
No,
sneak
it's very
in on
good.
my
Yeah.
head.
When you look at how much the price is, it's got a difference of an order of magnitude with the feather blade in terms of
Well,
value.
the price on chain clubs, I'm pretty sure is not the real price. Like,
Is it? Because it's gone.
Yeah.
That's a toy price because these items are gone.
yeah.
I understand. Okay.
All right, so I have 947. I have 447. Let me not lie. 447 in Brothers in Arms store credit. Okay.
I have
Cool.
to say, I am so happy to hear Boris and Barry talk.
It's a very good accent.
They
want
just sound like Gene, don't they?
It's so natural
Oh,
sounding.
people are losing inspiration. I don't know how
I
that's
don't
People
happening.
are losing inspiration. Looking at all that.
All right.
Well,
All right.
just what a fun time this has been, and I feel great.
All right. So,
Let's go attack something.
all right. Barry and Boris will apologize and sort of usher you out of the store because it's time for you to GTFO. It's been too long. They issue Pawpaw and IOU, which I will promptly deposit into his...
I have it in my inventory already.
Do you?
I mean, I'm typing things in.
Well, all right. You can actually open the item itself and edit it and stuff like that. You can do that stuff. I believe you. I trust you. You can do it. Meanwhile,
In my treasure, there's a store credit item, and then in my inventory, I added a feather blade. But I'll need you to put the actual details in for like combat.
Oh, no. Wait. Let's do it. Let's do this proper because all of that is available. All of that exists. So, tell me what you have right now, Papa.
I have a feather blade.
Okay, feather blade needs to disappear from you, and I will give you the actual feather blade because that has
Okay.
everything in it. There you go. If you'll pop it open, you'll notice that it is, a thing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
I think
else
this
do
is
you
the
need?
first item you've actually gotten to explore this.
And I
thing.
did get from the old crystallarium dude. I got the magic prism, but I don't have it in my inventory yet. I just added.
No,
Yeah,
we
you
gave that
do.
to the
Yes, you
Baroness.
do.
Right.
Oh, the Baroness has it. Okay.
Do I?
So then
Where
I'm
is
The
it?
spell. It's like a spell storage thing. You
Yeah.
like cast a spell into it.
Oh, you
and,
got.
no,
Cast magic
it lets you.
missiles.
Hold on.
Oh,
Hold
magic
on.
missiles.
Anybody
Hold
who
on.
holds the magic prism gets magic missile the spell, and they can choose to cast it as force, fire, cold, lightning, or acid at whim.
That's so cool.
I believe the Baroness has it. I will
Yes, she
double check.
does.
It's not in my inventory that I can see. That's what I was looking for earlier.
Ah, okay.
Oh.
So that
That's
is.
what I was looking for, and I didn't see it.
All right. Let's remedy that. The inventory. What did you buy? You bought the magic prism, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I got it from
Well,
Otho.
we kind of stole
That's
it.
what it
Yep.
was.
But-
There you
and
go. You
that's the one
now
gave to
have it
me.
in your
That's-
bag.
Thank you.
I didn't steal it. I took it by force, fair and square.
By force
All right.
of
You have a
of
magic.
charm.
You have a magic prism,
Yeah.
and it is now in your backpack. Congratulations.
We literally
Thank
ruined
you.
a poor old kobold's life.
All right. That is that.
So,
That is that. Everybody is happy. Papa, you got your own thing, everything like that. Yes.
yeah.
I do not see an IOU, so I will put it down.
I mean, it's in my treasure, not in my inventory.
Yes.
Silicon treasure, there's an item that says 447 and Brothers in Arms store credit. That is my.
Brothers in Arms IOU, and I will copy this information into it. So, Brothers in Arms IOU with notes to say that. There. Here we go.
Okay.
You now have it. It is, I don't know, in your backpack. For now, you can move
That's
it.
cool. Yeah, it doesn't matter where it is. Fine.
All right.
I need to equip the feather blade. How do I do that?
Where did I give you the feather blade? I
I
did.
have it, yes.
I did. So first we'll move it into the equipment, just so that it's there. We will unequip the short sword, but still give you one, and equip the feather blade, and now it is. There you go. If you
Oh,
will look
thank
at your
you.
actions, you will notice that you should have the feather blade in there.
Okay, cool.
Yes. There you go.
Alright. Abilities, okay.
Alrighty. Alright, so I'm off to that magic shop.
All right, and so you walk down to find tea and trinkets, and sure enough, it is there where you left it. As you come by to tea and trinkets, you see that the light is still on, and the sign says, "Open by special appointment only." At this hour.
Because I made an appointment to hold the shoes, and this is the same day.
Mm-hmm. And
Barely.
Are we all with her?
Yeah, I'm with her.
Yeah.
Perception skill.
I think.
Yes.
Well,
Okay, I hope so. I want to be.
sure.
Shit.
Uh-oh.
All right. You don't remember necessarily where it was. You kind of stumble into the general area. After a while, you find it. You're not really sure if this is the place where you went to before, but nevertheless, there you are. And you come in. And, of course, let me see here. As you enter, you see Glenda Wiles. She's sitting there at the table where the customers usually are, and she's sipping some tea. And as you come in, she looks at you and she goes,
Oh dear, good to see you. So good to see you. Have you come for the lovely shoes?
Indeed, I have.
Oh, I have them right here. I took a liberty to wrap them for you.
Thank you very kindly. What was the price again on those?
she consults her inventory and she goes,
Oh, right here. Goodies 2 shoes, 200 gold points. Gold pieces just for you.
Thank you very much. And so I am back down to 518 gold.
And she places them in your inventory. They're perfectly wrapped and they're wonderful and everything is exciting and all that.
And I
How
will
are they-
instantly put them on for my
Now, how are
advantage.
they magical? How are they magical?
They give me advantage on persuasion checks.
Which I really wanted their shoes, but I'm like, I guess I'll let her have them because I don't do well in high heels.
As seen by impersonating me.
Yes, goody stew shoes. You now
Oh, it's
have them.
persuasion and all charisma-based rolls. That's also on deception and intimidation.
Oh
Wait,
my.
is that spell casting too?
While wearing the slippers, you may choose to automatically succeed a deception check after 3 automatic successes. This ability is permanently exhausted. So I can only use it 3 times, but I still get advantage on all my other conversation rolls.
That's sweet. That's really
Yeah.
Is that lady the sort of? Would she consider making a pair of boots?
cool. Yeah, right.
Sorry, goodies is top
Ladies
quality
only.
ladies wear.
Yeah.
It
Those
is.
are good.
I'm not as masculine as all that.
It's like a.
You're on a bump little heel.
Well, isn't it Robert De Niro in that movie called Stardust or something?
Yes.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with being fancy.
No.
Hey, men's heels are becoming a thing.
True.
No. I refuse.
What?
No,
He
I
refuses.
refuse.
Do we have any time to look through any of things in this shop, or is it because it's so late? Do we get to do shopping or no?
She looks at you.
That's
He
my
goes,
special
oh,
appointment.
my dear, of course. For you, since you came back and it's an appointment time, and clearly you have an appointment, I would love to show you my inventory.
Sure, let's take a
Hell
look.
yeah.
As long as we have some money, you know.
Man, your money's just burning a hole in your pocket.
Well,
Never heard of saving your money?
She's a
Oh.
shopaholic. Let her do her thing.
I just want to look, and besides, we might find some nifty persuasion things for you. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking of you, dear.
Well, there's also a teapot I had my eye on.
Yeah, there was I can't remember all the things that were in the shop, but yeah.
See, now, Papa, were you even with us when we first came to the store? I don't think so.
No, I was not. That's why
Well,
I'm
see,
just
then
quietly jealous.
Then don't poo-poo it. Take a look. You might see something you like after all.
I mean, this all looks like highfalutin stuff that a swamp boy like me wouldn't have nothing to do with.
Her
can
tea
I
was
see-
really good, though. I gotta say.
Papa,
She had some
can
very
I
good
see the
stuff.
inventory?
She
She's
goes.
finding the inventory.
She goes.
One moment.
And she walks away to like open up, the drapes and everything from the things that she has already closed, while I feverishly type a little note to one of the people in the party, real quick.
Someone has a high perception skill.
Rain is now cursed.
Don't you dare. That already happened to me once. I don't want to sweat swamp water again.
I don't have it. Tappity tap.
I mean, tapping to someone.
It's a secret. But we're
Oh,
terribly good at keeping secrets, apparently.
Oh yeah, that's what we're
We're
known
good for
for.
it. That should be. We're the secret keeping gang, or whatever our name is.
Oh, well, shit.
I thought we were the what was it, the
I'm going to be doing a lot of flying and levitating.
What are those like click the heels and fly sort of thing?
No, they're high heels, so it's really difficult to walk in. All terrain counts as difficult terrain, and difficult terrain is impassable terrain.
That
So
makes
if we
a lot
run
of
into a
sense.
thorn bush, I have to fly over it.
So these aren't just heels; these are stripper heels.
They're like stilettos, and you're like running around.
There
and
most
falling.
certainly are. They're very, very awkward to walk in, but they're extremely highly fashionable.
Quite.
They make
Yes.
your butt look fantastic.
Oh, yes. Undeniably. Unquestionably.
My eyes
And-
are up here, Captain.
I've made my choice.
All right. So she finally undrapes everything. She goes,
All right. So we of course sell a variety of teas and cakes. They're probably a little stale by now, but still very serviceable. Here we have an ornate teapot that infuses tea with healing magic. Fancy armor belonging to a fancy and very powerful lady, now on sale for the low price of 500 gold pieces. The teapot is 125, by the way. We have a trunk of stairs, a marvel of portable sets of stairs that go down.
Yes.
400 gold pieces in all. A haunted horn, which they say allows you to speak with the dead. I, of course, don't know, because why would I speak with the dead? Teddy Scouts, unfortunately, sold. Magic Bean as well, but we do have this magnificent Blade of Balance, which is a magical longsword of great power, and of course the shoes that I already do not have. And that is all the inventory that I presently carry, unless you care for incense, but I'll throw in some free with the purchase.
I buy the teapot.
Teapot's good. What was the Blade of Balance?
Yes. Is there a card for it?
Yes. She shows you the Blade of Balance and the ornate teapot there as such.
I'm a little teapot.
That was 125, right?
Yes, they look like that. If you inquire as to their nature, she goes in and looks through a big catalog until she finally finds what she's looking for. And she goes, one moment. And then she reveals the information to you, I'd like to say.
Yes.
Oh, almost.
Any tea that's been brewed into it for 10 minutes or longer, the enchantment holds for as long as tea. Enjoys a cup of hot enchanted tea over a short rest, restores 3d6 hit points.
That's good.
And one spell slot.
How often can this thing do this?
It restores spell slots.
What?
Yes.
Nixon?
Whoa.
So over a short rest, if we sit down and have a cup of tea, I get a spell slot back, and the whole party can get 3d6 hit points back.
That is
You
nuts.
can do this an unlimited number of times.
Yes, I can. So whenever we take a short rest, I say, let's stop for some tea.
Oh, it's radiant damage. Okay.
But
Yeah.
everybody gets the health back, and everybody gets the sleep. I would buy that if you don't buy that.
Yeah,
Oh, no, I have it. It's mine. Because I'm the only spellcaster in here without a healing ability.
How much is the horn?
The horn. Oh, I see. She goes,
Oh, the horn. One moment.
and she goes and consults her big catalog of things, and she comes back with the price, which is somewhere, I swear to Christ, and it's right here, and she goes,
Oh, the horn. Well, that lovely thing is only 100 gold pieces.
Oh.
I would
You
be-
can talk to the dead?
I would be in someone's debt. Very much so. If someone would loan me 100 gold coins.
Oh, sure. I like immediately pull out my bag and start counting out 100 gold. I want to talk to dead people too. That sounds pretty cool.
I know. The horn
Well,
says
then
it
buy
could
the
be a
horn
good
yourself.
instrument /
I mean,
spell
borrow.
focus for Papa as well.
Yeah, like the person who's most able to play will be me, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
No, when that trump
I definitely would put
begins to
100
sound.
gold down for that. For
Yeah,
the
because
horn.
it says if the spirits like what they hear, they might linger to compliment the performer and chat with the living.
Yeah, that's super
So
cool.
that's a hint to Papa and I, since we have a high performance skill.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'd give 100 gold for that. To whoever
Alright.
wants to use it and play it.
If I
Okay.
may, I
I'm
don't-
subtracting the money. It's already done off the
Hang on,
table.
Malov is trying to say something.
yes,
I don't
please.
need to carry it, and I don't need to own it. But when we travel back north, I should very much like to use it.
Use what?
The
The
horn.
horn.
Oh, to speak with your friend?
Yes.
It
Understood.
requires attunement, so will it work for someone else? It has to only work for one, is that true?
That's correct.
All right.
That's quite true.
Glenda pipes in and
He goes, Oh, yes. The magical items in my store, they require attunement, but if you will be willing to purchase the item, well, with my meager magic abilities, I will be happy to attune the items to you at no extra cost. The item is
Yeah.
attuned only to one person, though, so you'll have to make a choice.
Yeah, add the teapot to my inventory because I've already subtracted the gold.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
Quick fingers. All right.
So
What do we
I
have?
do.
Ornate teapot added to Rain's inventory.
I do
Thank
have
you.
curiosity about the chest and the armor as well. If I could see those cards, please.
I
Oh,
love
no?
the chest of stairs. It's so perfect.
Oh, I also found the magic prism. It was in my inventory. Should I delete it somehow?
Where is the magic prism? Yeah, I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna nuke it. I see it. Done.
Thank you.
All right. Who gets the haunted horn?
Let's.
All right. I trust you to pay for it, so please don't forget.
I subtracted 100
Excellent.
for it already.
So the haunted horn goes to Captain Malov, and that will be in his backpack shortly. Indeed, and it
I'm
is.
not going to attune it though.
You're not.
No.
Who do you want to tune it to? Me or Rain?
Pawpaw,
Okay.
if we should happen to all live through all this and go back up north, could I pay you to do a command performance for me?
You know what? I think you can probably pay me one spooky old horn, and I'll be happy to do it for you.
If it's all right.
Oops.
I think we lost you.
Who? Me or Mike?
We
Mike.
lost my love.
I'm here.
No. So
You cut out.
I think I'd be happy to do such a thing for you, my love.
If Twig is all right with it, then I should
Of
rather have.
course. Oh.
All right, then. For the haunted horn in my inventory.
All right. Well, Captain Malov currently has it, but we can switch that around very
To attune it to
easily.
me. And then the
And-
leather armor and the trunk of stairs. I'd like to see both those cards, please.
Let's see. There'll be a moment. You guys have so much crap. Backpack,
You
haunted
inadvertently
horn.
just gave us basically a bank's worth of money.
Essentially.
Yes. What is radiant damage?
Oh, it's like holy
basically-
damage
it's
or
holy
light
damage.
damage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it affects undead creatures and certain
Right.
evil creatures
Like-
very strongly.
All right.
Yeah, like sacred flame is considered radiant damage.
But since many of us are on the morally gray side of things, I feel like a radiant damage weapon wouldn't do any extra damage to it. It just wouldn't be on theme.
Yeah, there are a lot of undead, and there are a lot of radiant spells that have a disadvantage for undead to resist them. So
Yeah.
if things get too spooky, it could come in handy.
Well, on the other hand,
double damage against vampires and stuff like that.
Yep,
I don't need to kill the undead. I can make them dance to my tune.
Right?
that's true.
All right. So anybody is
There's-
taking the blade of balance?
No, I don't think so.
How
It's,
much
it's
is it? It's
really not on brand for us.
I
We
might
much
suggest
prefer
the
to fight
lady's
with-
armor for Baroness, though, because it counts as an outfit, so it won't
Yeah,
distribute her monk ability.
I wanted to see the armor and I wanted to see the chest. Yeah.
All right. Here is the armor for you to look at while I retrieve the chest, and then I'll reveal the information
I
to
mean,
you.
with the information reveal, please. Yes, the picture is not
Yes.
not what I'm really after here.
Clearly. One moment.
Does Lady Grace have like not fancy armor too? Like Lady Grace's utilitarian armor?
Yeah,
Lady Grace's sweatpants.
Yeah,
I was about to
exactly.
say sweatpants of warding. Yes, exactly.
Sweatpants of warding.
That's the armor. See, you gain a +1 bonus to charisma when you wear the armor. So
That's true.
that's why I would
Plus
like.
bonus
This
to
is for
charisma
me.
ability scores. And
That,
it's
that gives
magical
me.
plate
But it's
armor,
plate
so,
armor, so
it would disturb the Baroness's monk ability.
It would disturb my magic. Come to think of it.
and your
Mhm.
dex, you wouldn't get any dex bonus either with it.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be armorless. I think we talked about this before.
We
Yeah.
did. It's a lot better for you to go armorless.
Yeah. This trunk of stairs is the best thing ever.
It's pretty
Oh.
Especially since we need to go below the town.
Papa needs to own this. This is a general rule. How big is this trunk?
The trunk is probably big enough to hold a papa.
Well, my question is Papa big enough to hold a trunk?
No, it's large. Like you would need a cart and a pony for it. I mean, it's like carrying a coffin around.
You're
Okay.
literally carrying a staircase in a suitcase.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
not
I
so
get it.
much that it's heavy. It's not heavier than a regular trunk of its size being empty. It is that it is large.
See, that's the problem. Is like we can't do. But I love the idea.
We need to
Oh,
have
like-
this, and let's just buy it. Jeez,
I'm,
we'll
I'm
figure
like
out a way.
6'5". I'll be your porter. I'll carry it on my back.
No, but I just love the idea of like in my room in my hotel being able to just rob the guy below me because I can.
Oh my
I just
God.
like the idea of being able to go below ground here because we still
could
haven't
also-
found what we're looking for, right?
That's true. And I
Put
could
it
use that to
anywhere.
easily get into the library.
Right.
Because that way we don't have to go through the church.
I will be glad to pitch in with this. This is not something that needs to be attuned, so I wouldn't mind throwing some of my meager money in here since I
Oh,
didn't win
yeah.
any gold.
I mean,
I'll
how
put the
much,
last 44.
how much
Uh,
is this
don't
trunk?
worry
It's
about it.
200 gold.
400.
400?
Yes.
I can bet 100 towards that, possibly even more if no one else will.
I got
I
44.
mean,
Put on it.
I've,
So
I've
Can-
71.
can you put wheels on this so I can get it back to the hotel?
She kind of
Magic?
looks at you, looks at you very quizzically, and goes,
Wheels? It's a lovely idea, but it would probably deface the wonderful trunk. I could loan you my wheelbarrow.
Wait, hold on. How heavy is this item again?
"Think of a coffin. It's about a coffin for a medium-sized human."
So figure it's about
Yes,
100.
but you said it's about the size of the weight of a trunk that's empty.
Yes.
So can you levitate it?
I might be able to, because if I use Gust, I can. One medium or smaller creature I choose must succeed a strength or saving throw or be pushed up to 5 feet away from me, and that's a cantrip. So I can use it
Ah.
infinitely. So I can keep pushing the thing or create a small blast of air capable of moving one object that is neither held nor carried and that weighs no more than 5 pounds.
Oh no, this is way more.
It
than
is
five.
way more than 5 pounds.
Shit.
Well, if it's
So I
an
can't
empty
levitate
trunk-
it, but I can push it.
An empty trunk is something that, as awkward as it would be, I could carry with a strap or two.
I mean, I
it
wouldn't
may
want us
be
to
as
carry
large
it like.
as
It's like luggage.
If it's only the weight of an empty trunk, but the size of a coffin, it's just merely awkward, not heavy.
It's too beautiful a weird thing to not buy.
Absolutely, I'm 100% with you. Do you?
Yeah,
do
and
we
since
need
I
to
can't
put
buy
my
that
money?
armor.
It's about 45 pounds in weight.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Well,
shit.
then we could. Then Captain and I could trade off carrying it. It's not a problem.
Or the
Alright,
two of us
I'll
could
put
just carry
100
it.
gold towards
Yes.
the coffin.
All right. I'll put whatever's left. Like you want to put in 100, I'll put in whatever's left.
I got 40. I can put 44 in.
I've got
No,
70.
Don't
So she,
bankrupt yourself.
so she looks at you and goes,
Well, for the trunk of stairs and the Lady Grace's fancy armor, the total is, I believe, is 900 gold pieces.
No, I don't want the armor. I can't wear it. It's too heavy.
Yeah, no. We're not buying the armor, just the trunk.
she
He goes, Pity.
Well, I mean, look at me. You think I'd look good in plate mail?
No, so wait a minute.
Does my,
Hold on.
will my opinion sway
My
your
lady-
decision?
Stand by, everyone. My lady, is there something
Yes?
in particular? Is there something in particular with the mail, with the armor, that makes it a good fit for our group? Can I roll for wisdom or whatever the fuck? Insight.
Honestly,
May I
it's a terrible item for anybody in our group because it.
May I just hang on? Can I roll for insight, please?
Sure.
Sure, absolutely.
Oh, well,
Oh.
shit. Not very helpful.
It
All
seems
right.
it seems like an extremely useful item. It's magical. It looks terrific. You like it?
Yeah,
It's
I'm
just-
just wondering.
essentially it's just plate armor with a +1 to charisma.
Yeah.
Which
I mean-
that's nice, but
Yeah.
everybody in this, I think everybody in this party is either charisma or dex as their main stat.
Mhm.
And like charisma is my main stat, which is cool, but in combat, dex is my main stat, and I would use all
Exactly. And
dex
I'm a
rolls.
sorceress. If I can't wear armor,
But our lady is trying to. I think she's trying to tell us something.
No, I asked to see it, and so she showed it to me.
She's trying to make
And
money.
then Gene was having her try to push the sale on me.
All right.
Yeah, it's like combat bonuses are good, but like having a trunk where you can like literally have a brand new strategy for how you get into a place, or it changes the way we can.
Absolutely. Well, the trunk is ours anyway. I mean, it's ours by right, if not default. You know. Oh my gosh. Yes, it's perfectly made for us, as though it were made for us. So
So she goes. So she looks at you and goes.
So should I wrap up the trunk for you then?
Yes.
Yes.
I think I'd like to see you wrap a trunk. That seemed like a preposterous thing to do.
She goes.
Very well.
And she winks at you. She comes up with a large roll of fancy paper and ribbons, and in beautiful flourishes and moments, she flips it around. She does this and that, like she's done it a million times, and it's her job, and she's extremely proficient in it, and it looks perfectly wrapped. It looks gift wrapped, and it's fine, and the creases are well, and there's a little bow on top.
Well, I'll be horns.
I'm gonna do an Arcana check for magic.
On her? Sure.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
8.
Oh well.
Paper Nancy.
There is so much magic in this room that you can't really tell where her magic starts, if any, and the other magic stops and the other magic begins, or the other way around. It's just hard to tell.
In here, guys.
Yes.
So, Rain, was that 100 that you were going to give? Was that all your money?
No.
Okay.
I still have plenty to buy my disguise for the thing.
Fine, okay. So Rain gives 100. I'll give 300, and I'll tell Twig and Baroness, like, don't go broke. I've got plenty of money.
Oh yeah, no, I have 293 gold left. I'm fine.
All right.
I still have more than 1,000 gold left.
Twig has 40, and I've got 70.
Who is going to be the de facto owner of the trunk, so I can just give it to them?
Who has good strength?
Malov? It could be Malov or me. Either one of us can carry it.
I think Malov should carry it because he's better at getting in and out of places.
All right.
I suppose is that I could take responsibility for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just need to put it in somebody's inventory. You can give it to somebody else.
Yeah, give it to Malov then.
You have it.
My gold. I gotta remove my gold. You deducted your 100.
Yes, I did.
I'm left now with. Oh no! What'll I do? It's less than 1,000 gold pieces again.
Oh no! Feels terrible, doesn't it?
Oh my! Don't worry, you'll get to be a millionaire one day.
Oh man, I'm
all right. Well, should. You know what? I think we should take this trunk of stairs somewhere and try it out. What do you say?
I mean, I'm inclined to just take it back to the hotel for now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And go through the city streets carrying a giant coffin-sized box.
So yeah, I'm freed from my employment for Bellsby. We got these items. I have 3 days before my duel. What are we gonna do in the meantime, guys?
Yeah,
I wonder if we should try and find better, different lodging instead of having to be around Bellsby at all. Or should we try going for the Eye of Hemel?
Now, I would yes, but two, I would note that it's easy for us to forget, given how action-packed this day has been. Tomorrow morning, I have to go to the Silent Order and present them with what I claim to be. I look at the shopkeeper. I mean, what certainly is an item they have asked me to retrieve for them. I suddenly realized I have to speak in a certain oblique manner because we're not in private area here.
Yes, let's go.
As you shoot the glance at the shopkeeper, she kind of smiles and winks at you knowingly and kind of turns away.
So we head out with our giant coffin, we're Antonio Banderas in that ridiculous action movie of his, with the gun inside.
Yes, indeed.
So as we depart, I'm like, so I've got to return with effectively the golem's punch card. I have to find a way to forge a punch card. I'm not going to give him the real punch card, because why would I ever do that? And that's tomorrow for me. Now, I think tomorrow afternoon, we should go look for the Eye of Hemel.
Yes.
And then I think the day after, if we haven't gotten ourselves killed yet, we should figure out what's in that library.
We can go back to the catacombs. Try to get back down there where we went before.
I mean,
We
can
won't
always
have
tell
any
that-
trouble. We have a box of stairs.
Yeah. And the Eye of Hemel might be down there.
I do wonder how we're going to get. I'll figure out somebody gets down to the catacombs again. Down, I suppose it'll be fine. But we can only use the strategy I used to get us in there the last time once. So we got to find a new way to lie our way in.
Or
That's
use
okay,
the
though. That's what we're
stairs.
good at.
We can use the trunk.
Yeah, the trunk
can
of stairs.
literally-
No, I understand that, but we have to carry a giant suspicious box into a church.
That's
Wait,
true.
it's a coffin-sized box. How dumb can I be? Of course this is easy.
It's perfect for a church, isn't
I
it?
know.
We're just burying our relative.
That's right. We're about to have a service. It's perfect. Now
And
here's
they're
the thing.
in a trunk.
We're going to because they're small. But the thing about it is, we've got to make sure. But we need to make sure that the trunk comes with us when we go downstairs, so we can use it on numerous levels. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Oh.
It makes me wonder: can we take it with us? I wonder how many levels it can take us through.
That's
I mean,
true.
Yes.
It's probably only one level,
I wonder.
and we might not be able to take it with us because as soon as we close the trunk, do the stairs disappear?
Right.
Or
I
if
guess-
we're in the trunk and we close it,
I guess
Does it
we
appear
need to
at the
try
bottom?
this out in a hotel
we need
room.
to test this.
I think we need to try it.
And I
Absolutely.
suppose we should. I suppose we should start by using the Teddy Scout, because it may be when you close the trunk of stairs that the stairs disappear and the space they're in disappears and you kill whoever's inside. So let's not
Oh,
start
that
with a
could
human.
be really sucky or really useful in combat.
I mean, I'd find a way to use that too, yeah, definitely. But
Uh-huh.
we know
Oh,
what you do. So, all right.
Right,
So,
Joe.
so
Sure.
back to the hotel room. Tonight we're going to rest up because I've used every single skill I've got. I am
Yes.
tapped.
Yes, us too. Yes.
Tomorrow.
And as you're exiting the hotel, you hear the shopkeeper.
It go.
Yes.
Excuse me, Mr. Bogart, Mr. Farley, was it? About
Yeah.
that horn attunement.
No. It's a little late to sign any signatures tonight. I'll come back tomorrow for that.
Very well, thank you. It was a pleasure doing business with you. I will be happy to sell you more of our wonderful merchandise when we get more in stock. Have a lovely evening.
It's been nice doing business with you.
Thank you so much for staying open for us.
creepy lady.
Indeed.
My pleasure. Be a dear and close the door on your way out.
Close the door
And
on
so
my
we
way.
do. We close the door.
And you leave, and you proceed
Alright.
to the hotel, where wonderful things await you. It is now 11:41. Good place
Yep.
to stop, so we have a
Good
little,
Yep.
little chat maybe. But first, before I close this for the evening, for the any viewers who may dare to watch our wonderful broadcast here, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. I had so much fun, and this is exactly what I need before the gauntlet that awaits me next week.
Hi.
We will play again soon. I would like to say in 2 weeks, but I mean, I will most certainly be in the process of moving then, so I will have to let you know. For now, I will set up a time for the next 2 weeks, and this will, of course, most certainly change, and I will tell you when and how. But our game will not stop no matter where I'm moving, as the internet will provide. And I hope to see you in 2 weeks for the continuation of our exciting game, or maybe its conclusion. I don't know. I don't know how the cards will fall. And by
We
conclusion,
all
I mean,
retire after this
Yeah,
job.
who even
By
knows? But you are,
conclusion, he means total party kill.
yes, indeed. You are at least will attempt going after the Eye of Hemel, and we all know that that was the original goal. So we will even see how it comes out.
Oh yeah,
But-
but now we're totally decked out in magical gear and a healing teapot.
But thank you so much. This was wonderful. I really and totally appreciate it. Have a lovely evening. And to anyone who may be watching this, thank you so much. We enjoyed you joining us on this miraculous and absolutely planned and flawless adventure. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night, guys.
everybody.